I can respect that. I've had to do both, and I work remotely too. So there are times when I have to like go put on a shirt, a proper shirt.
Exactly. I had to go put on adult clothing and then force myself not to roll my eyes at stupid ideas. So that was all. That I should have been paid extra for both of those things.
You can be wearing jammy pants and a tank top, but the stupid ideas are still going to be there.
Yeah.
I really feel sorry for you guys. Not.
Not.
Wow.
Ooh. So who's part of the B team now, besides us?
So Matt's out. Andrew's out. Eric's still part of B team, but he texted me earlier today. He's got 2 kids under 5 who are sick. So he said he was going to try, but honestly, I told him not to worry too hard about it because, frankly, he's got bigger fish to fry.
So there's just 6 of us on B team then, right?
Doug, too.
Doug just had another grandbaby, so he's in Seattle. I don't know if we're going to get him either.
No, because it's like I said, 6 o'clock out there. No, he said whenever it was done later, he could get away with it because everyone was in bed.
We missed last time too, so I did listen to the.
He made it through the whole thing.
You did?
Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna get a note from YouTube about how my metrics have gone up like crazy.
That's dedication.
Yeah, that was dedication. Took him all day.
No, it took me a week actually.
Look, I think the one time I missed, I think I did the same thing.
It took you a week to go through the whole
thing?
It
took me two times, but
is it just like I can't believe we sound so stupid on these videos? Oh my god! You just had to like shut it off in disgust, or?
No, it's not bad.
I do that during like game nights.
Not any worse than all the stuff on YouTube.
That's a good point.
Oh, come on, guys. There's several things on YouTube that would be more entertaining than this.
Well, I mean, all the gaming. There's all kinds of people doing gaming stuff on YouTube. Somebody's watching all that.
Let me check. I'm going to check something, see what our...
Oh, speaking of YouTube, Les, I'm going to send you a link to a guy that does a lot of nerdy how-to-game stuff.
Okay.
I think it would be a good idea for everyone at late night to watch.
Okay.
Especially since we've got a fair amount of people who haven't been gaming for the last, 10, 15 years.
20.
First one's just gaming. It's just RPG Combat 101.
Okay.
It's Seth Skorkowski.
What?
That's his name.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Problem is, Mike, that you're thinking that just because I would definitely be one that falls into this category, watch the video, that I would retain the information. Speaking for we.
He actually does it in such a corny way that you'll either remember it because it annoys you or you'll remember it because it's funny.
Really?
Seth Kokowski?
Skorkowski. S-K-O-R.
Okay, we're going to go for the annoying if that's the background music for this.
Yeah, that's not it.
No, I just put on some background music, some
That's just standard less irritation.
That's just standard less. You don't like this background music? I find it soothing.
Last week it was Girl from Ipanema, if you were out.
I'd rather have that.
I remember that.
All right, how about this?
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
That one's much better.
That's better.
All right.
That music is only allowed if someone runs up behind you and smacks your bald head while we're listening to it.
Well, there's no room back here, so I'm protected.
That music should technically be playing every time any of our characters are in combat. That's about as appropriate.
Or anytime somebody calls Storm a dragon and Don gets hit upside the head.
Listen, how about some Percy Faye?
So did you find the guy I was talking about?
Yes, I did. I just subscribed, so I will be
So
seeing.
the dude is, there's one that's called Combat 101 or something like that.
Okay.
Where's the button to mute less?
Yes, I'm looking for that too.
Hey, if you guys have some songs that you feel would be appropriate background music for what we're doing, by all means send them along. I scour the internet for these things for your entertainment.
I find
Hours
the song,
and hours
I find
of
the
listening
song
to garbage.
Peace and Quiet very restful.
Yeah.
I'd have to second that.
Peace and Quiet's not going to work for me, I don't think. But, we'll figure out something. All right. So the discussion we were having a moments ago about who's still in B team. Are we all here? Is that what we were saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got Doug out, and then you said who was the other two?
Andrew has. I don't know where Andrew is. Hold
What
on.
about
Andrew
Dan?
should still be in B team.
Dan moved, didn't he?
Dan's
moved to
moved,
C team?
yeah.
Okay.
He's in C team. So let me send Andrew a email.
So we got Eric and Doug out tonight, which is
Andrew.
Don's out too, right? He's retired already.
yeah. He moved to C team.
He moved to C team.
So I think if I remember correctly, there's supposed to be 6 of us. So if 2 of us are out, there should be 4 of us. So we're missing 1.
No, we're not. I'm right here.
Oh, well, that's true. Maybe it is. Maybe that is everything.
Yeah.
It's
Everyone.
Andrew.
I don't want to be on camera because I might roll my eyes,
Because my
or
eyes.
have to put clothes on. So
Yeah, either of those are bad juju.
I think we have 7. So I think it's us, you 4, and Andrew and Eric and
Doug.
Yeah, so 7 with 3
Okay.
out tonight. All right. So I sent an email to Andrew. So let's talk about what happened last. It was a while ago, but what you guys were given what was supposed to be an easy assignment. Go barter with this guy named this Taldorian minor noble off in the hinterlands, a guy named Tribune Borza, who had made it put it out on the wire that he was looking to sell some various kinds of magical items, lore, various kinds of things related to the Taldan Kadirian War, especially a certain point in that war. Master Bashir said, go out there, check this stuff out, make an offer on it, see if you can get it from me. This is Kadirian material. It interests me, and the likelihood is that he'll probably resell it to an even more obsessive collector. But nevertheless, it was not supposed to be a big deal. You guys got to the town, went to the inn, had just in time for a drink when this same Tribune Borza came running in. They're after me. And the next thing you know, you guys had hags coming through the walls, some polymorphs, some not. It was a small coven of hags that had shown up, and they were after this Tribune to try and kill him. You guys put these guys to the sword, got rid of all the hags except for one, I believe. One escaped. And then you finally got a chance to ask Borza about what this was going on. Hello, how are you, sweetie? Say something so we can hear you. Say hello.
say hi.
Or not.
Camera shy.
Or not, okay.
What the heck's on Uncle Fess?
Hey, there's Andrew. I wonder where you got off to.
The Bard CEU program is awful. I apologize.
No apologies necessary. You're in just in time. We're just recapping last time. So after you guys dispatched the hags, you were able to talk to the Tribune, and basically he gave you a strange and story. He kept talking about how the jester stole the stuff that he was putting
The
up for
Thorny
sale.
Crown?
Huh?
The Thorny Crown? Think Don McLean. Bye-bye.
Oh, jeez. That's
Sorry.
okay. Took me a minute. Thank you, Don McLean. That's what did it. Jeez, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, sorry.
So he told you guys the story. This Tribune, the Tribune boards had told you a story about these essentially relics that he was looking to take. When his wife had died about a little less than a year ago, And this guy named Sabas had shown up after his wife's death. His friends and other nobles sent entertainers and diversions to distract his household from its grief. And that's when Sabas arrived. He begged a place to stay. He seemed simple-minded, a natural fool with a gift for ridiculous nonsense was how he put it out. But he was like, this guy stayed with me in my manor house. He was a jester and told a storyteller and that kind of stuff. What he really was, according to Burza, was a spy. House Desarin, who is House Burza's natural enemies, must have hired him, planted him in the house, and waited for him to, for something to happen so he could steal these things. Basically, Burza says, for centuries, my family guarded an accursed relic seized during Qadira's invasion. Tonight, I found the item stolen. My guards and I almost caught the thief, but he unleashed creatures against us. The thief was a jester named Sabas. We thought he was a simpleton, but clearly he was a spy sent by our enemies in House Desarin. And, when he was talking about House Desarin, he went off on a crazy rant.
Yeah, when he said that, we did a clerical divination thing, which refuted that. He's not working with this. We know he's not working with his family, and he's not there.
Right. So, yeah, you guys did was it the Ring of 8 Ball?
Yes.
Okay. The Ring of 8 Ball told you that, yes, he was not working with House Desarin, and he was not at House Desarin.
Right.
Which was very strange. And I don't know if you shared that information with Burza, but frankly, he probably would not have believed it had you. So
hey, the 8 Ball said,
this is this guy knows it's them. He's like, hey, no, I'm absolutely 100% sure it's something put up by House Desarin. Tells you 3 things were stolen: a magical urn, which was dreaded for its dark power to issue forth horrors, which was how he described it; a mace that drives its possessor to murderous madness; and a necklace that throttles anyone who puts it on. They were kept in a hidden vault, protected by magical guardians, but somehow the jester learned how to bypass the vault's defenses. He said, the urn, centuries ago, when Qadira's, during the first of Qadira's many invasions, a band of heroic knights captured these trove of magical relics from one of the Qadiran satrap's stupid soldiers. It's an urn made of alabaster, a vessel inside of which are trapped hideous beasts of inhuman power and malice. You guys, his wife actually died trying to figure out a way to destroy the urn to keep it from hurting anyone. So after all this, you guys decided to look around and do a little tracking. Of the various kinds of tracks that you were able to find sort of out and around, you actually rested overnight and then got to start very early in the morning. Went out there and feel like that you discovered the tracks that you believe are this jester's tracks. Heading westward along a canal. And along that canal, you found a piece of pottery, a small broken shard of pottery about the size of a saucer, a tea saucer, but jagged, made of alabaster. And that's where we start tonight. You guys are, the sun is rising in the east. You guys are looking west, so the sun is behind you, as you guys have sort of found this trail, or what you believe to be the trail, that heads back. Now, Burza is telling you that obviously he's heading west. That's the direction in which House Desarin lives, that kind of thing. I have to stay here to see. I have to go back to my manor and see if any of my other if the jester has stolen any of my other things. What else is missing? But I give you my full confidence and leave in my territory to do whatever is necessary to find this jester, retrieve my stolen goods, and the situation in whatever way that you find is salient.
So whatever is necessary, huh? I like that.
Whatever is necessary, as long as you are in my territory, in my domain, then you are free from any judgments against you while acting on my behalf.
We'll make him correct that one.
Thumbs up to the murderous rampage.
My student loan is forgiven.
Only in his domain.
Oh boy.
And if I remember right, we had one more question left that we were going to wait and use.
And ask the 8-ball before sunup.
I'm not a virgin.
No, we did the questions
All signs point
yesterday.
to yes.
I thought we had some left today that we were hanging on to in case we needed them later on.
So let me check. Hold on a sec. It's basically a low-level divination. 10 minutes in either direction. You get it 3 times a day.
Right. So I think we used the 3 from last night, and then we used 1 or 2 of the ones from today already.
I don't remember. I'd have to look back, but I believe that's correct. So you still have 1. You have the tracks, which you believe are the jesters heading west along this canal. Mm-hmm. You have basically license to do whatever is necessary to get this guy's stuff back. Remember, this is the stuff that Master Bashir asked you to acquire on his behalf. So you're sort of all in on this thing.
So murder and here we come.
All right. So what do you guys do next? I mean, are you gonna burn the 8-ball for the day? Are you gonna do some other things? What? Tell me your plans.
Right now we have to go west. We know that, but unless we can keep with those tracks.
8 tracks.
Well, as the sun comes up, I mean, the tracks get easier to see. Now, the jester's on foot, but at this point, he probably has a 7 to 8 hour lead on you guys.
And that's assuming he didn't sleep during the night at all.
That's assuming he went straight forward right now. If he caught a few hours of sleep, that lead that he has might be less, but he's definitely traveling on foot. Now, you guys had I believe you guys had talked about that you were going to follow on foot as well and leave the horses here?
No, we said whores.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
probably a good idea, unless you want to,
Those were necessary for getting this done, so.
They were once necessary.
Okay.
So yeah, other than the tracks, I don't know of anything else that the 8-ball could give us that would help us at this point. I mean, I think just following the tracks is our best bet.
Okay. So is that what you guys are going to do?
Did anybody collect up the pieces of the pottery that we found?
Just one piece.
It was just a single piece, which was weird.
And yeah, we did collect that. And actually, I think we showed that to what's his name. He said that's part of that urn, right?
Well, the urn is made of alabaster. You showed it to him, and he's like, I can't be sure. He goes, really, it was, the plumbing of the secrets of magical things was really my wife's life work. This sort of thing bores me, other than the fact that these things belong to me and I want them back. So I guess I've seen this thing, this urn on several occasions. It could be a piece of it. I don't know. If the jester has shattered it, well, my wife tried for many months to try and determine a way to destroy the thing, to destroy the magic within. If he somehow managed to shatter it, who knows what has been released?
Probably 3 hags.
Yeah.
Well, those hags came upon us disguised as men in my livery. I mistook them for my own servants. That's how they were able to get so close with us being, take us unawares. It smells to high heaven of a house discern operation. This is exactly the sort of thing they would do to try and get back at me.
Well, we've got magic that says it's not, so.
Well, I wonder if you could trust that. No offense, that man's ring over there. It seems quite strange indeed.
Never led us astray before.
If I recall correctly, you said that this is the first time you've ever used it.
The part that we've never used it before. We're just going to say that, though.
Well, perhaps, I suppose, but it seems unlikely that this jester would not be in the employ of House Discern. There's no one else that would I am beloved by my people. There's no way that any of my people would ever conceive of such a plan.
Possible this guy
against anything that everything they consider holy.
Yeah, this guy, is it possible he just, after he got there to kind of console you, just realized you had a lot of valuables and decided to take them?
I find that to be. It seems quite remote. Most of the people that come into my employ, they stay in my employ. The sense of loyalty engendered by being in my house and associated with my domain is very strong indeed. I can't imagine that he would have developed these plans over time after enjoying my hospitality and living in my manor for almost a year. It seems remote. He must have come from house to Salem.
You haven't met too many con artists, have you?
I'd like to think that I associate with a better class of people.
Okay. Unless anybody else has anything, I'm just going to recommend we just follow the tracks west and hopefully we come up with something.
Yeah, tracking we will go.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you guys head out into the growing morning, tracking these tracks, which you believe to be the jesters. And you guys, correct? You guys are using you're on foot, not horses.
So,
Bortzi said he would have your horses taken care of.
Right. I don't know how well we can track on horseback, but it would be nice to have this extra speed to catch up with him.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have the horses. They have benefits too. They're horses with benefits.
Is anybody a survivalist here that can track well?
No. If you need me to look at something, I'm really good at that.
To put it bluntly, you guys rolled really lucky last time to track this.
What do you have to roll to track? Survival?
Right. Yeah, if it was perception, I'm all over it. But
Do you want me to try? Do we need to roll some survival, some tracking again?
Well, we're already tracking them.
You've already got the trail. What you would end up rolling is to see if you lose the trail.
Right.
So you would be able to track him for a better part of an hour, I would think, at least, before having to make a check. The tracks tend to follow. So first things first. The tracks tell you that this creature, this jester dude, whose name is Sabas, is moving very quickly. In some points, he's actually physically running. But most of the time you see somebody who's walking very quickly, longer strides, and the planting of the heel and the toe, stronger tracks there. It tends to fade out. The grass here is, the ground here is kind of muddy because it's right next to this canal. But you managed to hold on to it for a while. Give me a survival check.
Just the one person, right, Les? We're not.
Actually, anybody who cares to try can help out.
And hopefully,
I mean, it's just a jester that we're tracking. There's only one.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just one person. Yes, at least as far as we know.
That was John Heil. He doesn't see much. Llama.
That's Lama.
Hey, she did pretty good.
She did do pretty good. Bjorn doing his best.
I'll roll to help.
Beltran, anybody else out there? Andrew?
I'm just saying inspire competence, so everybody gets +2 on their rolls.
All right.
Add 2 to all those.
Add 2 to all those, so 23. So Lama, the tracks begin to. So the rest of you are like, I don't know where the hell. But Lama is just like, no, I think this is it. It begins to fade out a little bit. The ground gets a little bit more marshy. You have to stop a couple of times and sort of like do some circles and kind of stuff, but you do end up picking up the trail. Lama, give me a perception check. Everybody else give me a perception check.
I see a footprint.
Cheers, Chuck, weigh it in. Big bucks, no checks. Beltran, not bad. All right, Beltran, you're following Lama, and she rolls over it, but you're like, whoa, wait a second. You look down at the tracks, and you kind of look around. There's a space about, you guys have been following these tracks for about 2 hours, and you see a point where from the north you see another set of tracks, and they intersect at this one point. The tracks are larger than the first set, the Jester's tracks, but still, human size, just maybe a bigger person. They're deeper, indicating maybe even a heavier person. There's a point where they meet, and you can see that it looks like people have stopped. There's some standing around, the tracks kind of get thing, and then both sets of tracks go off again in the same direction to the west.
So you met up with
now
someone.
You're following 2 sets of tracks.
That should make it easier, right?
It does make it easier.
Okay. Well, yeah, obviously I point that out. Let her continue.
All right. Let's have another survival check, Lama, in the next hour of time.
That's everybody, right?
And we can still try to. Is
Everybody,
this
yeah.
one we can try to aid?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I aided her. So did Chuck.
Okay.
So all of us aided. Yeah.
So +6, so 26. Yeah, you're able to follow both sets of tracks. And you follow them pretty easily, but they do definitely seem to be moving together as they move along. It's not like one chasing the other or anything like that. They seem to be moving together. As you top a small rise, you guys are sort of thing. You see in the distance that the tracks are heading straight for a small, what looks to be either ruins of a small manor house or some sort of stone monument. It doesn't look like it's in very good shape, but you do see. I'm sorry?
It's not like it's in current use.
No, it's definitely at least from here. I know you guys are still a fair distance away, but from here it looks like ruins more than an actual thing. There's no roof of anything there. It's either some sort of small monument or some sort of small building that's fallen thing. The most intriguing part of this, however, is there is a small stream of smoke rising up from in between those stones, like a small fire. It's not like the place is on fire. It's like more like a campfire, like a stream of smoke going up.
Sweet. There might be a lot.
Is the roof on fire?
The roof is not on fire. There is no roof.
Good. So we don't need any
Is there
water.
cover to get there?
Huh?
Is there
We
cover
don't
to
need any water.
Not really cover. I mean, this is more grassland than forest. There's nothing in the way of like trees or anything between you and this thing. It is on the edge, not edge, but I mean it is with. If you were continuing to follow this canal, it's on the way. It's not like a quarter mile away from the canal. It's like 100 meters away from the canal.
Oh. Thank you.
But there's no real cover.
Okay.
All right. So what do you guys do? You guys go down there or try to stealth up on it or what?
Yeah, let's try and stealth. That'll be fun. Can Llama go first?
I can guarantee you I'll fail.
So Llama and Bjorn, you guys are stealthing up to the stones, right?
Precisely.
For me, on my modifiers, stealth says not applicable.
Not applicable.
I'm singing Broadway tunes, so you get +2.
I think Llama's going to dance and clap her hands then, since it's not applicable anyway. So you sing, I'll dance.
And everyone throw change.
I had my wrong character.
Let's try and look at that. There we go.
You dance to that?
Mm-hmm.
This is the latest bardic inspiration. All right, so you guys are just essentially just. Did we decide whether you guys are taking the horses or not? You are taking the horses, correct?
I don't think we decided.
Okay. All right. So is anybody going to stealth down there, or you just guys kind of just like walk down there?
I mean, to me, stealthing down there is pretty much just like me walking down there.
Okay. So we really have nobody who can stealth. John Heil, what about you? Can you stealth?
Yeah, I can stealth. Sure.
All right. Do you want to try that, or do you guys just like want to frontal assault this thing?
No.
Stealthy.
very good.
If he can stealth, let's let him do it. My stealth is a 2, so.
All right.
My stealth's a 1, so it's not
Oh.
good either.
Okay, so I'm the stealthy one of the group. I've got twice
All right.
the stealth he does. Which isn't really saying anything.
I mean, we can pretend like one of us is ill and do the whole "we need help for our ill friend" ruse, and just go knock on the door.
Okay, I'll try stealth down there, but
It's
you
a
guys,
room.
you guys be ready to come, bail me out.
We're tracking this guy.
Okay. Now you don't necessarily have to stealth into the dang place.
Look at that.
You can stealth close and see what you see.
I got a 20 stealth. I'm all over it.
All right. So how close do you get? Give me a perception check after that, real quick.
Hey, where the hell did Bill Train go?
30 perception. Okay, so you get to within about 50 yards of this place. And you realize that it is a bunch of broken stones, of walls of some kind. There's a lot of holes. There's not much over there that you can see. I'm going to go ahead and move us to this. All right, so you kind of sort of stealth up, and I'm just giving everybody, because I assume you're going to stealth back and sort of give everybody opportunity. So this area right here is is a small campfire. And you can see that it's mostly coals right now, a thin stream of smoke over there. It looks like it has a small wooden homemade rack that has the remnants of some sort of animal on it. And there's a guy there who's just sort of like looking around and sort of just sitting around. He does not look like a jester. He looks more like a soldier.
Right.
But he's not. He's just standing there, kind of walking around. And then 30 perception. One time you see him go, kind of like surreptitiously, sort of sotto voce, as they call it. He kind of goes, I don't see anything. There's nothing here. I mean, they were here, but I don't know what's going on. And you hear a voice that you could, from a person you can't see, so they, shut up. I think they're coming pretty soon. All right. Keep it down. He kind of looks around, doesn't see anything. So you hear that, and then you sort of like stealth back to where everybody's waiting.
Unless while he's doing that, I'm going to summon my Eidolon, just so I got something.
Okay. Let me see.
I forgot, you're a summoner. What's your Eidolon look like?
It looks like a were fox, basically, a werewolf.
Okay. So it's a quadruped then.
Yeah.
Where the heck did I put that thing?
Okay, so after that and telling them what I saw, basically said our best chance is to go in there like we're just investigating. That guy's going to run up front and pretend like the other guy's not there, but I say once we get in there, then we just either attack, ask him where he's at, or just find him.
Well, would it be? It looks like there are openings to the north. Would it be worth trying to stealth around and get a look in that side, or just blow through what looks like the front door or what's left of it?
From what I saw, yeah, there was an opening. I'd say one or two of us go that way, and the other ones go straight in the front door. That way, we kind of have them surrounded.
Yeah, because if you can stealth, you could get like.
I cannot stealth. I rolled an 18, so chances of me being able to do that again are like very much.
If we could get somebody to the wall right here, and then the rest of us walk in the front. But
Llama will go back there.
what's that?
Llama will go back there.
I say I put Llama on one side and put you on the other, and then the rest of us just put however we want.
We're like a vice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like I said, our goal is
figured
the little guy.
I figured my plan was to walk straight through the front door down the middle to attract the attention of the soldier.
Okay.
for it.
Then
I'll take the north.
Llama and I probably don't have as many negatives as you do, so we'll go around north.
Then I'll go south. Is there a door on the south, we think?
I didn't see one, did I, Les?
There's no doors anywhere. I mean, most of this is basically sort of open terrain. Actually, you know what? It might not be a terrible thing for me to give you a little light because it is daytime. Let me do that. Hold on a second. Everything's bumping around here. Hold on. Yeah, there's no doors per se. It's
opening. Is there an opening in the wall
Yes, there is.
on the south side? I'll go south.
Hold on, let me show you.
So she's approaching from the south.
Right.
Actually, there's holes all the way around this thing. So
yeah, it's not by any stretch of the imagination
Guys, I got to go put the 4-year-old to bed. I'll be about 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just there's different holes in it. I mean, there's just some walls and stones basically.
So yeah, I say Llama goes south, I'll go north, and then
I go straight down the middle.
Yep, you and Phineas and I'll go right down the middle.
Okay.
That way, and since it needs to be probably me or Phineas talking, I just let Phineas do the talking. But basically, the goal is we want to find out where the little guy. We know the little guy's there. We just can't see him. So,
Okay.
I'd like to convince without killing this guy that he just needs to give up his little friend. But if not, then that's definitely an option.
All right, what's his little friend's name? I can't remember.
Sabas. It was his name.
What?
Sabas. S-A-B-A-S. Sabas.
Basically, to sweeten the deal, I'd throw in, if we get the stuff back, we'll let him walk.
Who walk?
The
If
soldier.
you have to sweeten the deal, you can promise them their lives for getting the stuff back.
Okay. I think I have it. But
I'm making to shoot someone, so don't promise that too quickly.
All right, so you guys come rolling up. Beltran, you're sort of taking the right flank, Llama the left flank, and then Bjorn, Phineas, and John are sort of coming up sort of straight through the thing. And John, you're going up to the wall and kind of like hanging out there?
Oh, I see John. I don't see his...
He wears his eidolon.
Yeah, it's like he turns into a sort of a wolf creature.
I'm a synthesis.
I can do that with Storm at like, I don't know, 16th level or something like that. But it'll be a while before I get there.
All right, so this guy sees you, the three of you at least that are coming from the forward area, and he kind of looks around and you're not sure if he sees the other people as well. Let's roll a quick perception.
And do you have the tracking thing up so that we can do the auto
for
initiative tracking? Yeah, because I don't see it on my screen.
There it is.
Go.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Hold on, I gotta trash everybody in this as we start over. All right, so there you go. All right, so you see that guy there. He's gonna roll a quick perception check for those of you who are sort of sneaking around. Let's see how he does there. Okay, 16. So you see him sort of cut his eyes left and right, and but then he focuses on you guys, and he especially focuses on Bjorn, who's sort of like, you know, obviously Bjorn's armored to the hilt. He's got his sort of, I'm assuming he's got his helmet sort of like, you know, the lid of his helmet kind of up so he can see the guy, and he basically says to you guys. All right, then. You're Bortz's men, eh? Where's the jester? Where is he? Did you guys grab him already? You can see that basically these are like ruins. The walls are made of limestone. They have carvings on them. There's this big slab sort of in the middle that has some sort of figure, what looks to be blessing a couple of people kneeling. It looks like there's a campfire in front of this guy. It looks almost out. There is, now that you're closer, Beltran, you see that the little wooden kind of like homemade rotisserie, or for lack of a better word, a spit, still has the remains of a snake on it, which is sort of all burnt up since it's been above this fire for so long.
I think this guy's trying to bluff us. So
you try sense motive on him?
Sense motive.
All right. What'd you roll? 15?
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure.
Okay.
But he seemed pretty confident, and he seemed pretty solidly interested in finding out if you guys had the jester. He's like, "Where is he? Have you put the grab on him? If you do, he's ours. He belongs to us. You can take whatever he has. We don't care about that, but he belongs to us."
We're about to put the grab. Oh wait, it's not me.
Or was it Phineas is the one who's supposed to be doing the talking, right?
Yeah.
Well, get in there and gift of gab him, Andrew.
Well,
you do, not Phineas.
I'm sorry to say that we slaughtered and ate him, and he was delicious. But he said that he left some things here, and that you would know of what we speak, and that if you didn't, that you were pretending that we were to slaughter you.
Is that what he told you then, is he? Before you ate him? Well, all right then. Well, I'll give you that. That's that's a well-told tale, I must say. But you guys, it looks to me that you don't have the jester, and you don't strike me as the type of cannibals from the southern jungles who might eat a jester.
I'm going to burp, and I want you to tell me what it smells like.
Is this a bluff or an intimidate check?
Well, it's a diplomacy check.
Look, he goes, obviously, we don't like strangers poking around in our business. The jester worked for us, it's true. But my brother's with him now, or was with him, met him up with him last night, and I haven't seen or heard a tale of him since. My brother was supposed to bring him here so that we could take him back to Tessaran territory. But they never showed. Or they were here, obviously, points to the snakes, but they left before we could get here, which was not part of the plan. So now we need to know, if you guys found them on the trail, let me know. You can keep the jester, but I want to know what happened to my brother Baron.
I can still move while this conversation is going on, right? So I can come around right here.
Although you're not fooling anybody unless you've got some pretty significant stealth.
No. I come walking around. I'm gonna say, who else is here?
Well, I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
When I was here,
check.
Your perception?
Yeah.
My perception
32. All right. So from your position, you see. I'm going to go ahead and put it out. You see a guy here. So there's an archer there. See him?
Uh-huh.
So there's an archer there. He's just sort of hanging back. He's got his bow and arrows out, and he's sort of hanging back behind the thing. He does not look like a jester. He's also wearing livery, but not the same kind of. I mean, last night you saw guys in livery that Tribune Burtsa referred to like his guys. They were wearing, you know how you wear a tabard and it has the coat of arms or colors or whatever it is on it. These guys are wearing something very similar clothing, but different color scheme, different like coat of arms, different sigils on it.
So these are the rivals.
The House Tessaran.
Yeah, one of us. If someone else doesn't ask that, I'm going to ask that.
What do you ask?
If they're from House Tessaran or whatever.
Well, yeah, of course I am. Who else would I be? My name's Wage. I work for the Tribune Tessaran, and I understand you're the newest and latest of Burtsa's men.
We're actually the competent
Kadirans from down south.
Well, if you're here by yourself, then you don't mind if I shoot the guy behind you then. And at that, I'm actually going to raise my bow.
Hold, brother, hold now. We're out here in the wilderness here. No sense to get touchy. So just my men here to watch my back. This is you know, there are bandits and things about. You never can be too careful. Come on out, lads. It's all right. And then you see another one come out. He was behind a different place where you weren't able to see him. Hold on a second. I'll go ahead. So, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. The easiest way. Okay, can you guys see?
Can kind of see two of them.
I don't understand why it's still acting this way. All right, hold on.
Be right back.
Okay.
All right. How about now? Can you see everything?
Nope.
Oh,
I
that's
see
weird.
most of it.
All right. Well, there's a guy back there, an archer back there.
I can see him actually. I can see two guys.
Okay. So
Well,
then I was like, come on out, lads. It's all right. Well, I just erased everything, so there shouldn't be any I don't know why it's still doing
My
this.
guess is probably not all characters have vision of some sort.
Okay.
Like my character doesn't have vision because if I move my character, it doesn't change the
Okay.
shadow.
Well, there shouldn't be any shadows at all, is the thing.
I think you gotta go up to the map and actually just remove
I did.
dynamic lighting completely.
I did.
Is it maybe? Do you see my guy moving?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's updating.
It's updated. Hold on a second. Let me do this. I took the dynamic lighting off on the whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
There we go. That
Yeah,
should
your
be
map.
better. Do a quick refresh, and you should get everything.
Is it just F5 or is there an actual button that refreshes it?
I just refreshed my browser. All right. Basically, there's a couple of dudes there, archers that are both wearing this livery. The guy says, you know, obviously we work for House Desaren. And he'll flat out say, he's like, look, if you've got the jester, we don't care about the stuff. We just want our guy back, or at least know what happened to him. It's like we planted him there, but he's gone. He's like, look, he went off book with this theft thing. He wasn't supposed to steal anything. He was just supposed to be a plant in the manor house and tell us what old Bortz is up to, trying to make sure that he doesn't pull a fast one on my master. He wasn't supposed to steal anything. I sent my brother to go meet him. And then they were supposed to meet us here, and we could head back into Desaren territory. They were here, it looks like, but they were left before we arrived at dawn. We've been waiting here to see if they were late and showed up, but then you lot came.
Well, if you can tell they were here, then where'd they go?
I don't know. I'm assuming they were here by the presence of this campfire. It was still blazing merrily when we arrived, which means either they were here and left abruptly upon when seeing us coming, or it's all an elaborate ruse. And frankly, I don't think Sabas is capable of many more elaborate ruses. It wasn't exactly what you would call a ball of fire in the brains department.
You're smart enough to figure out how to get past the magical barriers.
Well, I don't know anything about that. He wasn't supposed to be getting past any magical barriers. He was supposed to be insinuating himself in House Burza so that we knew what was going on there. He was an information gatherer, not a thief. Or he wasn't supposed to be anyway. My master wants to have a few words with him, I can tell you that. This has unsettled everything. But if you lot don't have him, and it doesn't look like you do, then who does? And where's my brother? My brother wasn't the type to throw in his lot with a petty thief and criminal, especially when he knew that he was supposed to be bringing him back here.
What happens if the petty thief had a bunch of money?
I still don't think my brother would turn his back on his duties.
What if
He's
he had a
smart,
magic
but he is
item?
loyal.
What if he had a magic item that forced him to? I don't know.
Is it possible? Is that what Sabas stole? Magic items? Dark magic?
No idea. It's magic items. There's no telling what they can do.
If I find out that little fart in the wind charmed my brother into doing something, his dutiful, the dutiful wishes of his liege lord, I'm going to separate his head from his body. I have to get back to House Desaren and alert them of this. Are you guys planning to continue to follow this trail wherever it goes?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
All right, then. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You'll get safe passage from House Desaren as long as you're on the trail from this, even though you're working for Bortzi in his lot. But if you find the jester, we want him back alive if you can arrange it. We don't care about whatever it is he stole. Return those to Bortzi if you have to, but we want the jester alive.
No promises.
Make a deal?
We want badges.
Yeah, full disclosure, we're not really good at the bring him in alive thing.
That's not our strong suit, actually.
Well, the jester, Sabas, doesn't belong to me. He belongs to my master. So I can't really tell you that if you bought him back in a sack, that would be okay. That's sort of beyond the scope of my duties and responsibilities, and beyond the scope of my authorization. But if he's done anything to my brother, then I'd be willing to look the other way. Accidents happen. You lot didn't hear that. You hear the two archers say, "No, we didn't hear shit."
All right, whatever.
So, with John Heil in Eidolon form the way he is now, does he have scent? Is there any way that he could try to help pick up the track?
That's a good question. Do you have scent?
Yeah, he's got scent now.
Okay.
His tracking's a little better now too.
Yeah, I actually pulled up Illandar, was looking at his stuff, and actually Beltran's survival is actually 7, which is much better than I thought it was.
So we need to try to pick up the trail they used to leave here.
So yeah,
Okay.
I don't care what those guys do.
Okay. All right. Lads, we got to head back to House Desaren. You lot keep on it.
Are you going to sing and give me a +2?
Oh, Phineas.
Yes. I'm wearing my gold lame. What can I do for you?
I think they were looking for some +2s from singing.
Yes, I'm singing.
Okay, would you roll?
What should I roll?
Are these your
These are
tracking checks?
tracking checks.
My what?
You talking to us, Andrew?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, they wanted you to inspire competence so that they could do better on their tracking
Yes,
checks.
I've been doing that
Which
for the
suck.
past 2 rounds.
Okay. All right, he's been inspiring competence. You get +2. So are you aiding John or are you trying yourself?
I'm aiding John.
Okay. All right, so that's 21 +2 for the inspire competence, 23. Anybody else want to aid him?
You're perfect. You're an animal. Go get him.
I can try to aid. Not much of a chance, but I'll give it a shot. Oh, look at that.
Hey,
There you go. All right, so you guys aiding John. John's in with his eidolon wrapped around him. He's sniffing around. He's doing the things. These other guys are packing up. Sort of getting their shit together, and they give you a salute, and then they head north. He says, "We'll come back around and follow your trail as you go get it. Once we've told Lord Desaren what's going on, and then they take off."
okay. What I wouldn't give for a hot air balloon right now.
So you guys do some tracking, and actually, Heil, you're able to pick up the track very quickly. Again, 2 sets of footprints, one bigger and heavier, the other smaller and lighter. It looks like to your eye that they left here pretty quickly. They were moving pretty swiftly when they left here, and they continued to head west along this canal area.
Onward and forward.
All right, so you guys take off. and continue following the trail. The trail leads across the grassland. You get about another, it takes about another hour. You get about another hour and a half. You get about 8 miles. And then the trail goes to, continues to follow the trail. You guys continue to follow that. And you do run into some various locals, which you sort of ask, hey, have you seen anybody? And you do get an interesting thing. Phineas turns on some of that charm that everybody talks about. And actually you get from the locals, there's a little farmstead here, a farmstead there. And the people there will tell you, yeah, they did see 2 people, one small person, small, both human, one smaller of stature, dressed in sort of what they refer to as finery, nobleman's clothes, that kind of thing, and then another man, larger, who had a sword and a longbow and seemed to be following the smaller man. But they were with each other. I mean, but he was sort of following along. And so the people that you see, basically tell the same story. That 2 men, one large, one small, moving very very swiftly. They actually said that they were moving very quickly along this trail. You continue to follow the trail for most of the day, and it gets it gets dark. At some point, you're going to have to you're probably going to have to put in for the night.
We're definitely going to push as long as we can, just because we're trying to make up time.
All right, so you push further. It's going to get harder and harder to track during the night. Although about just around sundown, you do find something interesting. You do find that the tracks meet up with what look to be at least 2 or 3 people on horseback. Give me a perception check. Okay. All right, Beltran. Everybody else is, the setting sun seems to be hindering them, but you see that it looks like there's been some sort of at least 2 and probably 3 people on horseback, or creatures on horseback, intersected with the 2 people, the jester and whoever, and apparently this guy's brother, who were traveling together. There was apparently they met, and then the 3 horses set off along the canal, again along the same line at a gallop, whereas the two people on footprint continued to move, although walking, not running. They seemed like they slowed down quite a bit.
Okay.
What as you guys are approaching, there's these isolated farmsteads. As the night is starting to fall, you do kind of see some farmers kind of coming in from the fields, that kind of thing, and they somebody yells out, is there any place to stay around here, an inn or anything like that? And they say, well, no, there's no inns or anything around here, but there is the locks is abandoned, but the roof is still intact. There's shelter there if you're looking for shelter. And then you're like, what? The locks? And they're like, yeah, across at the edge of the canal, there's the old broken down locks where the boatmen used to offload their goods. They don't do that anymore there. It's been abandoned for some years, but there's roof and room there. Travelers will often stay there.
Okay,
it's only a few miles down the road.
Let's head there.
Okay. All right, so you guys continue to head down the road towards these locks. And hold on a second. It's pretty dark. By the time you guys start approaching it. So you're a little, it's starting to get dark. You're not super inclined to stay or to stay out. You're actually pretty interested in finding some some. And as soon as I get your, come on, your dudes over there, I'll switch the map. John, do you stay in Eidolon form?
Until I go to sleep, yeah. Then it'll revert back.
Then it'll revert back? Okay. And you do have scent?
Yep.
All right. Give me a perception check associated with your scent ability. 19. As you guys, so it's dark. It's getting to be fully dark here, and you guys are gonna, I don't know, pop up some torches or anything. Who has dark vision?
I do.
I do.
Wow.
John does.
Okay, so several of you have dark vision, which is great. As you guys approach the locks, Heil, you see John Heil sort of pull up, and you can see in his Eidolon and he are sort of like sniffing the air a little bit. You know, it's very Vulpine kind of look, and he says, "There's fresh blood here. There's blood here. I can smell it." He says, "And acid. There's acid here too." As you guys approach the locks, the canal is over here, sort of on the side there, and you can see the locks themselves are two buildings. One here that you can see, and another one down a little further. But as you guys approach, John sort of like ranges a little bit forward, and you can see something bad happened here, because now everyone can smell the smell of, well, it's the acrid sort of ammoniac smell of acid, and you can see as you kind of like raise your torches and kind of like look forward, there's the unmistakable sight of bodies on the ground. You can see that.
Okay. All right, let's get the dangerous ones up front. I'll follow them in.
So, John, give me a perception check as you approach.
Okay, John, he's got dark vision too, if you want to put a light on him.
Okay. What's his dark vision?
Most all of them are 60.
Yeah,
60
it's standard 60.
Okay. All right, I went ahead and put that on you for you. All right,
60.
so Lama, give me a perception check as you approach there.
Dang.
28. All right, so you almost step in and then you kind of put back. See that black stuff on the ground?
Yep.
You look down, and the smell of acid is very strong here. And you look down on the ground, and you can see that the turf, the grass that sort of surrounds this canal, it's burnt and melted in that area wherever that black stuff is. There's a lot of it looks like there was a pretty significant amount of acid was either thrown or spewed here. You see a couple of bodies sort of on the edge of it. They're burnt and acidic. There's still some of that whitish smoke that comes from acid coming off of them. Beyond that, you can see another spot that has the same sort of acidity look, and there are several people scattered about here, including one guy and a horse that have been killed.
I just toss over my shoulder. It's like there was a massive acid attack amongst other things here.
Could you guys hear her?
No.
Yeah.
Kind of.
She said that there was, she looks over her shoulder and tells you guys that there was a massive acid bath here, among other things. Now, as you guys approach, you can also see the bodies.
I'm going to kind of ask someone to cover me, and I'm going to go around the acid and go up to the bodies and just check and make sure no one's still kind of alive.
Okay. You're going to check, do a quick heal check on that dude that you go right up to?
Basically, I'm going to do it on all of them as I go by just to make sure that.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're all completely dead, but there might be one that's.
Give me a heal check. 19? Yeah, everybody that you come up to is dead.
Can I tell?
But
Is it all by
weird-
acid, or is it?
Well, some of it is by acid, and certainly the marks of acid are on several of these bodies, but not all of them. Some of them look like it's very sort of to kind of describe, but it's like the wounds are circular and have sort of weird, sort of almost as if it was teeth marks all the way around, like a remora like would have, or something like that. A lamprey, that's sort of like that circular sort of tooth shape. It looks like that, but big. I mean, some of these wounds are as big as a dinner plate. That look like that, and it's like, you know, when those that have wounds like that, it looks like, you know, at least a portion of the interior flesh or guts that were on the other side of that wound have been sort of sucked out. It also looks, if you take a dagger and sort of peer in a little bit, it looks like whatever is in there has been sort of liquefied a little bit too.
So I think that whatever was doing the biting was also doing the acid. Since it looks like
you don't see anything here that looks like they were killed by weapons.
I'll pass that on to everyone.
The other thing, so there's one guy with a horse. He's not wearing livery of any kind. In fact, all of them are sort of wearing what you would consider to be sort of farmer garb. I mean, it's very similar to the people working the farmsteads. It's very plain. It doesn't look like anything. None of them seem to have anything that would represent a military-style weapon. No swords, no armor, no shields. Several of them have knives tucked into their belts. And some of the, there's like a couple of, like some of them have like hammers, like, but they're more tools than weapons.
Do they look like they fought, or did
they do kind of look like they fought? They also give me another heal check or a perception check, whichever you want, whichever you do.
I'm gonna go perception.
Okay. They look like they may have died at different times. So some of them look a little riper. All of them very recently, probably within the last day and a half, 2 days.
So they look like they've been drugged here?
No, there's no indication that anybody's been drugged here. They look like they died here.
And it looks like they're all within the distance of here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sort of all in between those two locks.
Like they're getting spit out of the water, or like whatever's attacking them is in this portion of the water.
Or all it took is the first person to die, and everyone's been coming to check them out, and then getting attacked by whatever's there.
That could be too.
Do you guys want me to check out this first lock building?
Yeah, I'd be happier if one of the tough guys goes in.
Lama, give me another survival check. I mean, one of the things you're probably interested in is did the jester are these the jester's bodies here? Is the jester and that guy here?
Yes, are these like locks, like lock and dam, like what I would think of on the Mississippi, or are they docks?
No, not like where it's like raising and lowering the level. They're more like docks. And you can see sort of at the southern end sticking out into the water. There's little breakwaters there where it would be very easy for a small flat bottom boat to sort of pull up and offload. You see this area right here? It's sort of a little stone jetty that comes out from the sides of these buildings. There's another larger one down on this thing. You can see
that 24 is my survival check to
okay.
Just trying to piece together what happened here.
All right, so okay, a couple of things, Beltran. As you look around at the tracks, you do see that the tracks of the two people that you've been following, which you believe to be Baron and Sabas, passed through here and actually walked right through these areas that have acid on them. You can see, the tracks stop where the acid is and then start up again. You're not sure if
so
they
the acid
walk.
came after them.
That's what you think, yeah. But it looks like they continued on.
Nothing to say they're related, though.
Well, especially not because you said some of these were died a couple days ago. Some of them died recently.
That's what it looks like. So you do see the tracks sort of come and they turn and they kind of come up into there. I mean, they stop at the stone, obviously, but you can see the tracks sort of come up here and stop here.
I'm going to, whoever, between Bjorn and Llama, whoever's closest to me, and when I figure that out, I'm going to point that out. And
I'll head over there and do another.
actually, I'd like us all to stay close together, though.
Are we kind of close?
Let's hold off till Bjorn gets done looking there, and then we'll all head over there.
Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes, they are. Llama, give me a perception check.
You want me to wait over here, Mike, until Bjorn's done looking out?
I don't want to split the party up, so I want to keep us all fairly close together.
So you guys are just sort of yelling back and forth, right?
Well, like I
Yes.
said, I'm not wanting to split the party up, so we shouldn't have to be yelling.
Okay. All right, hold that for a second. I got to reload my my bourbon here. You guys plot amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I promise not to watch the video later.
Yes.
I'll never keep that promise.
Yeah. Yeah, something obviously is really bad here. I want to make sure we're close together. That way, if something surprises or when something surprises us, we can get the dangerous ones up front and have us support guys actually supporting and not being on the front line.
I recommend we don't stand within 15 square foot of each other, or 10, whatever the big acid blocks are this thing chucks out, then we won't all get caught.
Right. I think you're right. Probably keep at least a 5-foot gap between us.
I'm going to move on the other side of you then.
Okay.
All right, so Bjorn, you go in that one lock building.
And we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, he dropped off. He must have had internet trouble.
Okay. All right. What are the rest of you doing?
He's still on Roll20.
Yeah.
I went in there and looked last, but I turned around and walked out.
Okay. Did you roll a perception check?
I can roll another.
Yeah, roll another. Okay. You didn't notice much of anything. I mean, even though the tracks sort of lead up into that area, I mean, you could tell. That building, it sort of has some detritus in it, some broken wood or something like that. You do it would be pretty good from a shelter standpoint. There does seem to be evidence that at least somebody in the relatively recent past, although not super recently, has used it for shelter because there's evidence of a fire in there and that kind of stuff. It would be decent. I mean, it does have a roof. It would be a good sheltering place for travelers.
Especially the odorous wafts of air coming from the north as the evening dwells on.
Well, yeah. Other than the dead people scattered about outside, it would be a decent enough spot.
Well, they tell you location, location, location.
All right. So what do you guys do?
I'm going to head back over and around to the other side of Beltran, towards where he pointed at the tracks.
And like I said, Chuck's not back yet, but he did drop and then come back on Roll20, so I'm assuming he's going to end up on the chat momentarily. But I'd have him, unless we can move him back over with us and just kind of going up there with Llama, and the rest of us kind of follow behind.
So like right in the middle of the acid splash kind of area?
Well, obviously, yeah.
Okay. There he is. Chuck's back.
Can you stand in an old acid splash area and still take damage?
No. I mean, the acid has
Okay.
My thought is if whatever shot that acid, shows up again, they'll have a perfect target.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, what happened, bud?
My
Internet issues?
My computer decided to restart of its own accord.
Ooh, did you have some updates, did you?
I don't know, but it just turned itself off and back on again.
Nice.
So anyway, I
So-
see I've moved over to checking out the
I
other
pulled
one.
you over close to us because I didn't want to split the party.
Well, and that's what I would have done anyway. When there was nothing in the other one, I would have come over here to be part of the exploring this one.
Okay. So, all right. So you guys are there. You've sort of been walking gingerly around these people, these dead people in the acid areas, kind of looking around. It is dark out. You've got some of you've got some torches and that kind of, you know, some of you are using dark vision, but what do you do next?
Can we re-find the tracks of the jester?
Beltran did. He found the tracks of the two people.
They went right onto this platform.
But I mean, after that, I mean, they're not here, obviously. So where did they go? What direction did they take?
So we probably need another survival to find out where they left from here. That's a question for you, Les.
It doesn't look like they stopped. It looks like, so you recall that they stopped, or at least interacted with some guys on horseback, and then continued on. Now the horse guys went back sort of like northwest, and you didn't follow those tracks. You kept following the thing, so you don't know what those guys did. These particular tracks, which you guys believe are Sabas and this guy Baron, came here, picked their way through here, and went into this building. Beyond that, you do see, if are you looking like over here for more tracks kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm looking everywhere. Yeah.
I rolled a 24 last. I was following wherever I've just been, because that's where you pointed in this area. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I'll get to you in a minute. Roll a quick survival check to see if you see the tracks.
That was the 24, which is actually 26.
Oh, that's your survival check. Okay, great. So Lama, you see that there was definitely some tracks coming out here. You see them like right here, like right at the edge of the stone, and heading back down the other way. They're moving quickly, much more quickly than they came in.
I couldn't see your mark, Les, when you said.
Oh, sorry,
right.
like.
Yeah, I don't see your
right.
second mark. I see your first one.
Right here.
Okay.
Okay.
So see where that edge is right there?
And they're heading to the left?
And they're heading to the left. Down, again, the same distance, going west down the edge of the thing. But the one thing, Lama, that strikes you is that coming up to these locks, they were moving relatively slowly, comfortably, walking. Leaving this building, they were running.
Yeah, we probably better get out of here.
Beltran, do you have can you give me a perception check real quick? Actually, Beltran and Bjorn both give me a perception check, would you?
Too late.
Thanks,
All right.
Mike, for once again making me wonder why I even bother.
Big bucks, no checks. One thing you notice is that Beltran, so you notice two things. One, there seems to be a bag of some kind sort of over here, just sort of sitting there. And it looks like it was dropped or just left there because it looks very much out of place. Two, the floor is covered with this weird kind of sort of not slippery, not sticky, but it's some sort of slime. And it's not everywhere on the floor, but it's in sort of like lines, wavy lines going in and out of the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever made those lines probably has a sucker mouth, says Llama.
Yeah. And shoots acid. And
Yeah.
kills people. But I'm curious what that bag is.
How curious are you?
That bag
Maybe
is
should have to ask you to go get it.
giant sucker mouth worm bait.
That's pretty much.
Who's faster, me or Bjorn?
You also see over by that bag what looks to be the remnants of maybe a small fire.
Yeah, we gotta grab that
It's
bag.
cold. It's cold out right now, though.
I would grab that bag and then let's get out of this building.
And Llama is much faster than Bjorn. I'm slow.
Okay, I'll go for it.
Run for it, grab it, and just get right back out. Look on the ceiling or anything. Do we see anywhere where this blob could be hiding?
Perception check. There's nothing on the ceiling. But I mean, you don't see anything on the ceiling, but there's a fair amount of holes in this building.
Actually, a 26. I got a 26. Does that help?
You got a 26. All right, so Beltran, you don't see anything on the ceiling or anything like that. Lama, you hear it's almost nothing. It wouldn't even have normally, but it just sounded sort of weirdly out of place. But it sounded like some sort of like gurgle in the water outside the building.
To the west?
To the southeast. So not out to your left, but like over here maybe. Yeah, or over here. Some sort of like, I mean, there's like little waves bashing up against this up against this little breakwater, but it was like almost like a gurgle.
How many seconds does it take if I have a speed of 40 to run, full out run to that bag, grab it and run back?
You could do it in a round.
Depends on if it's a bag or if it's a trap that's set by the monster.
I would call, or basically motion Phineas and John Heil over and say, we're going to be going to the left here. We're going that way.
Can you guys, actually, Phineas and John Heil, why don't you guys give me a quick perception check?
That's +2.
John and Phineas. Phineas, you're sort of looking the other way, seeing what those guys are, especially after Beltran says, hey, I think we're going to be leaving pretty soon. John, you see it come around the corner just as you start moving towards them, and it's actually headed for Phineas.
Oh.
Okay, I'll yell out to Phineas to get the hell out of there.
Run!
Point.
It looks like looks like a giant
slug,
yeah, of some sort, but it has this like mouth on it, and it just comes up to Phineas and is like and attacks him. Let's roll for initiative.
Oh man! Can you roll mine, please?
You have to thank Don for figuring this initiative thing out. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty solid. All right.
Except, why does it show me above you?
Well, it just puts them in the order that we did it, and then he can sort them.
Ah, okay.
All right, sort descending. All right. All right, surprise round on Phineas, since it was like too late when you yell out, look, Phineas, look out. And you see this raspy tongue just kind of like, and kind of like reach out and sort of grab Phineas. Ooh, that's not good. Phineas attack. 22 to hit.
Muted, Andrew.
Andrew, you're muted. Does 22 hit you?
Crap.
I'm hoping.
Yes, my HP is definitely not 22.
This tongue reaches out and sort of grabs onto, and sickeningly, you realize that it's not the creature that has the remora-like mouth, the lamprey-like mouth. It's the tongue that has it. The tongue just sort of shoots out at Phineas and grabs onto him and sort of like almost like it is appendage. So it's got the slug has this big tongue, and now it is stuck to Phineas.
Okay, so there's no running away.
Well, unless you want to leave Phineas.
Am I enjoying it?
I would say no.
Okay.
So if the bard's gone, does the music go away?
The music does go away. 14 points of damage as this thing hits you, plus the secretions on this tongue are acidic. So you take another 5 points of acid damage as the tongue sort of like begins to start grabbing into your body like these little hook teeth chunk into your body, and it begins to sort of melt you to try and get at the gooey bits inside. About that time, gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Another one comes sliding up across there towards Bjorn. All right, Beltran, you're up. What's up? So you see this happening, and you're like, well, that got ugly real fast.
I'm gonna call to Llama in case she's not seeing it. Phineas needs help.
Got it.
Wow. Yeah. I had my thing planned until this other one showed up.
There's still time to run go get that bag, too.
Let me go check the bag.
Go check the bag. See what's in it.
Probably a bag of salt. That's what we need.
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
How bad does Phineas look?
Oh,
This
God.
thing just hit him pretty hard.
Did you take your
I don't know. Phineas, did you
Okay.
take how many hit points did you take total? 20 or 19?
16.
14 and 5 is 19.
Oh, you said 16. I like that better.
19.
I heard 16.
that
I
much.
Oh,
So
because
if you-
the 5.
If you check out
Wow. Okay.
his health bar, he's not happy. And this thing is right on top of him, and it's like it looks like a giant slug. Its tongue has a like lamprey-like teeth coming out of it. The thing is glistening with what you think is probably acid.
Okay.
Is it
It
grappled?
smells too.
Let's
What'd
see.
you say?
Best I can do is get to there, and then I'm gonna burst.
Is he grappled, Les?
No, he's not grappled. He's just been bitten. He's trying to suck like.
Oh, he's not grappled?
He's not grappled.
Where was I? Right there?
Andrew, did you roll initiative?
Yes, some time ago.
Was that your 12?
Yes, I think that's why I got bitten.
Okay. Let me add that in.
I am actually just going to tell Phineas to get over here so I can heal him, and then I'm casting Bless.
Okay.
So everyone's got a +1 to saves and +1 to attack.
So you're like, Phineas, get out of there!
So I can cast that, and then I'm taking a 5-foot step that way. Because now I'm just 30 feet away from him, so he can get to me in one move.
Okay. All right, that's it for you?
Yep.
Bjorn Half Giant, what are you doing?
I'll take a 5-foot step to here
Okay.
and full attack.
All right, what are you using for a weapon?
Magical longsword.
Magical longsword. Okay.
So 20 and possible crit.
20 and possible crit. AC of 20, so the first one hits, and the 27 potential crit. Go ahead and roll to confirm. 24. That's a confirmed crit. So, hold on. Let me check these real quick. Okay. All right. So you're using your sword, right?
Right. So 15.
Flashing weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 15. Do you want the chart?
Yes.
All right. Let me get the chart. I didn't expect to be rolling crits right away.
That's what we have going around. Well, there's lots of reasons, but that's one of them.
That's one of the reasons. Come on, where's the chart? Chart's not it's not acting good.
Is it online somewhere, or is it a special thing you got?
No, it's online, but it's acting stupid. All right, here we go. I've got it now. So
Triple damage and his tongue falls off.
slashing damage. All right, here we go. Hack and slash, and double damage, and all crits automatically confirm for the next 3 rounds. So any more crits automatically confirm.
Okay.
All right.
So the crit confirm hit, the damage was 18.
Okay.
So double that for 36.
36 plus the 15 from the earlier hit is
Right.
51 points of damage.
Yes.
All right. Let's go
And I'll be right back.
All right. There we go.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's got some hit points. That's a solid strike, but the thing it's a big creature.
Yeah.
It's big and ungainly. Luckily, you guys have slashing and piercing weapons because it has DR too, but it's DR slashing and piercing.
Bludgeoning.
So yeah, against bludgeoning damage and stuff. It's because they're like giant slugs. They're malleable. A hammer would just like sploosh it out of the way.
Right.
All right, so that's Bjorno. Now it's my turn. So this one is going to attack Phineas again. So let's see about that.
Phineas, did you put in a character change request?
I put on a diplomacy thing so that anyone that looked at me would think that I was treble sexy, and that anything that wants to kill me is philosophically impossible. It can't be. It's a fallacious argument.
I don't know. Does a 19 hit you?
No.
It's a miss. This thing, so it retracts. You manage to sort of smack the thing away, and you see this lamprey-like tongue come back out at you, and you manage to dodge out of the way. It does not hit. The other one is going to try and attack Bjorno. 29. I got a feeling that's going to hit, but I am going to wait for Chuck to get back before I confirm that.
That actually might not hit.
Really?
Yeah. It might, but I know his is around 30. I don't remember exactly what it is.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. John Heil. We'll come back to that. John Heil.
I'm just going to cast Major Armor on myself. I should have done that already, but I didn't, so I'm going to do it now.
Okay. You going to move at all or anything like that?
Yeah. I guess I got to go help. Let's see. 10, 20. I'll move to there and try to distract the slime from Phineas.
All right. You're not going to attack it, though, or anything like that. You're just running by.
Yeah, I cast a spell, so I can't.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So you got Mage Armor on, and you're trying to sort of get its attention away from Phineas.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Llama Rama.
Llama's gonna rage.
Okay.
And then, so the rules of running are double your land speed, right?
It depends. If you're running, it depends on your armor essentially. So if you're flat out running, just like hauling ass, you can go. If you're wearing medium or heavy armor, you can go 3 times your speed. If you're wearing heavy armor, 4 times your speed. If you're wearing,
Light armor is 4.
light armor is 4, medium and heavy armor is 3. Sorry, I can't speak. All right, so you're running out of the building.
I'm just breastplates and stuff.
That's medium. So
That's medium. So yeah, you can only go 3.
you can easily.
But you can't. But here's the thing about running: you can't do anything else.
Right. Okay. So, well, that was my question because this is 40 right to.
Yeah.
40 is right to here.
Right, and you can't do 40 anyway. So
So I basically can't really do anything to help now, no matter what, right?
No, you're going to have to use 2 movements if you're trying to get over to that slug creature.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back here, and if John Heil's on it now, I'm going to come back. Would this be considered, or do I have to go this way to be? I have enough. Since I have 120, I can go outside of an attack of opportunity. Can I come here and get a
like a flank?
Yes.
What you would probably do is go around behind John and come up behind the creature from the other side.
Like over here?
That would flank it.
Okay.
Right there would, or actually, yeah, with 120 you could get out and around.
Yeah, you could basically get anywhere on the map at 112.
Right. I was with you. That's why I was asking about flanking with you. And then
in this case, if you went over to there, you would deliver flanks to both. Yeah, you would flank with both John and Phineas.
Well, I'm going to tell Phineas, run like hell back to Beltran. And don't stop singing.
Run and sing.
What's that song? Is like, ow, ow, I have acid on me.
I think it's I Ran by a Flock of Seagulls.
I ran. Hold on, I can find that.
Who's making the beautiful music? Who is that?
Probably Les.
I don't know why that's doing that.
Chuck, are you back yet?
Yeah, I just got back. Sorry.
All right.
What's your armor class?
31.
31. So the thing tried.
I was right.
You were right. The thing tried to hit you, but did not. It rolled a 29, which I thought was a pretty strong hit. But the you get your shield up just in time as this tongue just comes shooting out of this thing and tries to like grab onto like your neck. But you get your shield up just in time and it kind of like bashes on. That's the flock of seagulls. I ran. So Phineas is running. All right. So that's Lama. Phineas, you're up. Bottom of the order. So you're now in flanking position. So if you want to draw a weapon and start attacking this thing, now's the time, bud.
Okay. Well,
or run.
I'll turn myself invisible.
So you're gonna you use vanish?
Yeah. I think so. Invisibility, not vanish. Invisibility.
The spell. Okay. So here's the. Oh, you weren't injured. Well,
doesn't matter, but you don't want to cast that spell close to an enemy creature.
Yeah, you want to take a 5-foot step because otherwise you'll get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, okay.
And you're not going to get healed, so you should just.
And I'm not currently seeing invisibility, so if you do that, I'm not going to see where to.
All right. Well, I will take my short sword and attack of opportunity.
What? Run! Put the sword down. Run to Beltran. What are you doing? Sing. Run.
Okay, I'm singing and I'm running.
Okay, so you just take off out of there.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and move your guy to where you want to go.
I'm singing
Well played.
and I'm running.
I don't see an OT Hodges here, so.
I might be the only person who gets that reference. All right, so you run over there into that room, and you see another one of these creatures sort of half in and half out of the building attacking Bjorn.
Bastard.
But that's where Beltran told you to run over there.
Actually, Beltran would stop him if he tried to go past me. Stop him right there and say, "Don't go in there."
You doing inspired courage?
Well, I can go wherever I'm
No,
told.
he was doing.
I have that talent.
And actually, yeah, you probably.
Bless? Which
Bless
one?
is.
That's Mike's, right?
Yeah, bless is for me, and everyone's got that. It doesn't matter where you move for that. Although
Inspire courage is what.
Yeah, Phineas probably needs to go to where that ring is just barely touching Llama.
This is the yellow ring.
Yeah.
Phineas, you want to move him back a little bit?
Sure.
Just because your stuff only works at 30 feet, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd move back over to about right here so you're away from the thing, but you're still inspiring Llama.
So Lama's still within your circle of Circle of deliciousness.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's very courage.
One more.
Anders.
One more to the left.
Oh, to the left.
Yep.
Okay.
I want you as far away from that thing as possible and still giving Llama the benefit.
All right.
Okay, we're good.
What is that again, Andrew? Is that a +3, +2?
+2.
All right. Vinny, is that it?
And remember, you've all got the +1 from Bless, so it's +3 total.
Write it in there. Let's do
So I get my slugs get that right. 2?
If they would like shift to our side, then we'd give them that.
All right. Phineas, you going to do anything else?
I'm gonna shit my pants.
Okay. That's not a full round action. It actually happens very quickly. So
I'll do it
it's a swift
twice.
action. All right, perfect. Beltran.
Moving to here and for 13 points.
Ooh, nice. 13 points. All right, Phineas, add 13 points back to your healing.
Okay.
Add it back?
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, okay. I'll do it real quick. There we go. All right, so that helped quite a bit. Bjorn Half Giant.
Crit.
Did I notice when I hit it last time that the sword didn't seem to do much to it?
No, actually, it was the opposite. You're
Because I can't see
hit it
the
really
damage.
hard.
I can't
Oh,
see the damage on the creature because it's
Oh, you play this thing
underneath
open.
me.
This thing is
There,
like,
I'll move it just a little bit so you can see better.
this thing is between 1/3 and 1/2 health.
Okay, well, and I'm gonna. Let's see, where'd everybody go? Everybody back there went that
Stay
way.
the course.
So
Yeah, they took off.
I'm gonna stay here in full attack. Crit automatically confirmed.
Automatic confirm, and the 12 is a miss. So automatic confirm crit. You want the chart again?
Yeah.
All right. Spun around, double damage, and the target is flat-footed for 1 round. So let me check and see if that has any change. No, his flat-footed AC is the same as his regular AT. He doesn't have any dex.
Does it lower his crit to crit when he's flat-footed?
No, it just makes him easier to hit normally. In this case, it doesn't.
But these things are, yeah.
Yeah, but
They
double
have no-
damage.
They have no
So
dex anyway, so 28 points of damage.
there you go. So Bjorn, you are cutting this thing to ribbons. But it's their turn. So John, you have successfully gotten this thing's attention. So it is going to try and attack you. Ooh, that's trouble. Nat 20 and a 31 to confirm. Is that a confirmed crit?
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, all right. Hold on a second. Let's look at.
You're not supposed to roll a 20 and a 19 back to back. Didn't you get the memo, Les?
I did not get the memo.
Yeah, that's just poor cricket, old man.
It's jolly good sport.
Dirty pool.
All right. So punctured lung, double damage, and the target begins to drown in his own blood in 3 rounds.
That's horrible.
You have a D20. You get a DC Fortitude save each round to try and end the effect, but you begin to drown in 3 rounds. And I'll just go ahead and get those drowning.
You don't have to worry about it. I'm assuming magical healing fixes it. It usually fixes that kind of
It
thing.
could, but I mean, it'd be fun to find out. Maybe just leave him alone and see what happens. Drowning. All right, here we go. So drowning. Any character can basically hold the number of rounds equal to twice your con. Every action reduces that.
Well, no, this thing's saying is he's already starting to, so he's past that, I think. Well, actually, yeah, he'd start with he's holding his breath effectively.
It might not matter. Double damage is going to be 38 points of bite damage as this thing just slams into you. Are you down? Is 38 going to put you down?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then you also get some acid damage. You get 4 points of acid damage. So 38 plus 4 acid damage. Llama, you just see this absolutely brutal strike as this thing, it's like the tongue just shoots out of it and hits John Heil and begins you know,
Like, tries to go
sizzling
straight.
around the edges. I mean, and you can see him just like thrown backwards by this. The other one is going to try and attack Bjorn. And miss, I believe. 31 AC, you said?
Yes.
All right. It shoots its tongue at you again, and again, you manage to get your shield up.
It's not
just
liking
in
all that
time.
metal you've got on.
No, it does not. It does like the delicious flesh that John Heil has, though. All right. Speaking of John Heil, you're up.
Flock of seagulls.
Do DC 20 fort save.
On my way.
Did not make it. That's okay. 2 rounds before you start drowning. Your own blood, as your lungs begin to fill up with blood and acid, as this thing just starts like melting your guts. Do you want to do anything else besides that? You're not grappled or anything. If you want to run out of there. If you wanted to ran so far away.
I can't attack. Is that
you can, but it doesn't help you from the point of view. For now, it's okay. Yeah, you can attack, but once you start drowning in your own blood, doing any vigorous actions increases it lessens the amount of time that you have left.
Yeah. Does it look like these things have range?
No, it doesn't look like it. They don't have appendages or anything like that,
Yeah,
other than this gross tongue.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step back, which actually, God, I always forget I have reach anyway, so I don't need to be as close as. So I don't have to do that. I would have been 5 foot away anyway.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast the spell.
Okay.
Is rejuvenate Eidolon, so 1d10 plus 4 here.
All right. Do you need to make a concentration check on that one?
Well, that's why I took the 5-foot step.
Gotcha.
Is
Okay.
Just because of damage, or?
Nah, you should be okay. So does that heal your Eidolon that many points?
Yep.
Okay.
Does that fix the drowning?
No, it does not.
Okay. Would.
Oh wait, does that count as magical healing? I guess it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that would stop the drowning in your blood. You're still wounded, but yeah, you won't. It essentially ends around the fortitude DC. So yeah.
Okay.
So Gordon, you're completely surrounded, so you don't take any damage until your Eidolon dies and goes back, and then it's just you left there, right?
Well, I can actually choose to take damage to
Yeah.
keep him here, but yeah.
Mhm.
In general, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like an Eidolon shell.
Like I said, I can do this ability eventually with Illendar, but okay.
It's John
Mike,
Hyland
I
in
can
Edgar
heal.
suit.
Mike, I can be healed. Normally.
He's in an
It's not
Edgar
a-
suit.
I can be healed any way that anybody
yeah.
else can be healed too.
Yeah. Because Storm gets healed by Lothar all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next up would be Lama. Lama, you just seen him get hammered by this thing, and then he staggers backwards and does some sort of incantation.
And I roll a 36 and a 33.
Ooh, both of those are hits. You're using what kind of weapon are you using? A scimitar?
Bastard sword.
A bastard sword. All right, so that's a slashing weapon, so no DR. 33 points. All right, very nice. You are just cutting away at this thing, but it's so big and rubbery that it's like it's hard. I mean, you're slashing it away, and and big pieces of it are coming off and stuff like that. But there's just so much of it, and it's so like rubbery. It's hard to you don't feel like you're doing a tremendous amount of damage, even though these would destroy a person.
Right here.
Where I was, where you were.
Yeah, I
before,
know,
so-
but I'm going to take a 5-foot step back, and then I'll re-engage on my next turn.
Okay. All right, Phineas, my good man, what do you do?
I think I just keep singing.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think the Inspire Courage song is Iran. Quite the opposite of inspiring courage.
I think Eye of the Tiger would be Inspire Courage.
Eye of the Tiger's gone. We can't play that anymore.
Okay.
He's too wounded.
We're not going to take it?
All right, let me...
What a hello, father.
Hungry like the wolf?
Okay. Yeah, Duran.
All right, we could do Eye of the Tiger. All right, he's Inspiring Courage. Phineas is Inspiring Courage. So you're going to stay right there? You're going to move at all, Phineas, or anything like that?
I will break wind.
All right, perfect. Beltran, Phineas is singing away, and you're pretty sure that the drum beats you just heard, the tom-tom sound, wasn't an actual drum. But potentially, the sounds may have been issuing from Phineas's rearward side.
So I do a quick yell back to Bjorn, you okay?
It's like, I felt that breeze.
And when he yells back, duh, then gonna come up to here.
Bjorn, what do you say? Do you say,
All good.
Then I'm gonna run up to here and...
Ooh, that's big healing there.
hit John with that. Yeah, bring out the big guns now.
All right. Perfect. Bjorn, you're up.
Full attack?
Okay.
End it.
20 will hit, 18 will miss. Oh, wait.
18 has a +1 for Bless and a +1 for Inspire Courage.
Two for
Plus
Inspire.
two
Plus
for
2
Inspire
for Inspire
Courage.
Courage.
So that's a 21 and a 20. These are a 23 and a 21. Both of those will hit. So another
32 points of damage.
32 points of damage. This is enough that as you bring down the slot, you manage to just finally bury your sword into this horrifying creature. And it does, you do sever a significant part of it. It wiggles around a bit, and then you see it sort of slide back into the water with a disgusting sploosh.
Bad sushi.
Bad sushi. Well, there's still one left. He looks at John Heil, but he just got hit by Lama. So he's going to whirl around. And instead of moving towards her, you see him kind of do this kind of thing. And then
Looks like a cat.
spews as a huge glurt of acid at Lama.
Kind of a save is that?
It is a ranged touch attack on my hand. So let me do that. It's +3.
So you just have to hit my armor class?
That's right.
Your touch AC, which is much easier.
Oh, it is
Ooh.
really easy. Oh,
18.
shit. You touched me, baby.
Oh, boy. All right. So this acid just falls all over you. You are not going to like this.
Isn't there a half damage reflex or fortitude save or something?
Let me check. I do not.
Usually not when you have to do an attack.
So.
Like a fireball doesn't.
Yeah, it specifically says no save. So you are covered in this acid for 17 points of damage. You got off lucky. 3 1s and 2 2s. You got off lucky. 17 points of acid damage. It's all over you.
Yeah, you're better to close this thing and
Yeah.
go toe to toe.
All right, that's what it does. John.
All right. Does the skin look like it's acid covered too? Like if I try to bite it, it's going to be a bad idea?
Well, yeah, it kind of does. It's got some sort of like slime coating on it, like a slug would. It certainly is glistening.
I think I'm just going to use my spear and try to hit it with that. 24 hit.
24 will hit. Yep, absolutely. And spear is piercing. So avoiding DR. Excellent. All right. Yeah, you stick it in there. I mean, honestly, you're not sure if it even noticed. It's so busy vomiting on Llama that I mean, you kind of stuck it, but again, it's just like this weird sort of rubbery feeling. I mean, you stuck it in him, but I mean, it's just so much. What's that?
I had
there?
to take a 5 foot step to get closer, so I could do that too.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta re-roll the 21 to confirm. That's a critical.
Ooh, so those are your rolls. Critical threat. But this is within. Oh, that was the other guy. So yeah, at 13, that's not going to be a crit. So 2 hits.
The 2 hits I just didn't get.
What? You got a 34?
It was a 34.
It's not.
It's a 34. I was looking at the 13. That is a confirmed crit. So 1 hit and 1 crit.
Oh, I thought you had to roll the base number as your crit.
No, you're fine.
No, just a successful hit.
Oh,
It's
cool.
a successful
Okay.
hit, and that is definitely
sorry.
successful. So you want the chart or the or you want to take whatever the damage is automatically?
And, is it double damage or triple damage when you?
Look at your bastard.
I think for a bastard sword,
Double.
it's double.
Oh, I see. The times 2.
Which frankly makes sense to do the chart because you're probably going to get double damage anyway.
Yeah, I usually do
You know,
double damage
I was gonna do that until you said it.
times 2, but any of my characters have times 3 or better than I usually just
Well, you
do.
think I would steer you wrong?
Go ahead, do the chart, Les. It's always more fun anyway. I still have to roll my damage though, right?
Ooh, gut slash. Double damage and D4 bleed. Target cannot swallow whole if it has that ability. So you slash open its guts, and
Nice.
it begins spilling guts all over the place. So double damage and D4 bleed.
Okay, so the damage is 21 and 16. That's 37. So that's 70.
No,
4?
you only double the one. You doubled the first effect.
Oh.
You only double the.
So 42. 42
57.
plus the 16. Right? 42 plus the 16, so 58.
58.
42 plus 16 is 58. Correct. Okay,
58.
and D4 bleed.
Got it. Coming.
So it's only got. So if you could do, we got 4 hit points left.
4 up there.
Oh! So it is writhing around. So Lama, you just did a crazy amount of damage to this thing. Phineas,
It spit on me.
it vomited acid all over you. But now it's wallowing around in its own guts. It has 1 hit point left. Phineas, this is your time.
Oh,
It's
come
your
on.
turn.
You
This
get a
is your
verb?
time to get a vermitrel.
Verm.
You can kill it. You get an official verb.
All right, I'll take my short sword and slash.
All right, so you're gonna run up there and try to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, AC 20. Roll your dice, my friend.
Okay. Trying to figure out.
Oh, he did it! He hit him. So even minimum damage is going to be 1. So Phineas gets the verb.
Yay.
I got to write that down so I can put it on the chart. Phineas reaches up and like in the movie Dragon Slayer, where the king comes and up to the almost dead dragon and just sort of stabs it and is like, hooray for me. Phineas kind of comes up behind and just stabs it with his short sword and puts it out of its misery as it dies horribly on the ground in front of the things.
Yay.
And at that point, we fall out of initiative.
I'm going to go over
And I
here to the
yelled-
bag.
Yeah, I was
So
a
you
yellow
run-
Belchman. You can have your bag now.
You run over there and get the bag. Okay. So
can
you
actually
guys,
walk over there. It's weird. My video is working just fine, but my roll 20s, I haven't even. Oh, there we go. Phineas just showed up.
Phineas, give me a
I'm
knowledge
thirsty.
local.
Everyone gets 20
You know
points.
what?
Give me a
Thank you.
knowledge local.
Okay.
Everyone, make sure you put your 20 points back. You know, see if anybody's still left hurt.
13.
13 on knowledge local.
Yes.
All right, that's friggin' terrible, dude.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So Bjorn, you grab up the bag. Do you look in it, or do you just grab it and take it out? You on? Let's go.
Can't hear you, Chuck.
He's not muted.
He might have stepped away.
Okay. So as you guys, while we wait for Bjorn to come back, as you guys sort of like look around, I mean, it seems pretty clear to you, Beltran, and probably to you as well, Phineas, that these creatures are almost certainly what got these townspeople. Now you're not entirely sure where, why it is that these sort of like locals who ought to have been, the conundrum here is the locals who ought to have been familiar with if these creatures have been hovering around these locks for a long time, they would have known to steer clear of here.
Right.
It doesn't look like that's what happened. It looks like they were surprised. I believe it's like maybe these creatures are new here. Phineas, there's something that's tickling your memory, but you can't just put your hand on it. But there's something that you're reminded of that you can't put your memory on it. You're not sure what.
Think harder.
There's something about it. Something about this that is stirring memories inside you, but you're not sure what.
Can Hyle do a knowledge, local, or history?
Sure.
With Phineas singing to help him.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
inspiring competence.
+2 for inspiring competence. So it's 21. So yeah, Phineas is like sort of staggering around. He's walking around. He's like, something about this reminds me of something. And John, you are like, you're right. There is something around here. And you remember that right perhaps 10 miles from where you guys are. Down the canal is a town called Rhoetius. And you remember about 10 years, maybe not even that far, maybe 5 years ago. It used to be like a little farming village. They did a lot of river business. They would load agricultural products on flatboats and head out. But it was like a little small town, not very big at all. Only a few families lived there. But they had some sort of incident about 5 years ago where there was some creatures from the canal that came up and sort of chased everybody out. And the descriptions, you remember, I mean, it's vague. It's a long time ago. You remember hearing about this and saying it was like creatures like that were like these slug-like creatures had come out of the canal and either chased away or eaten the townsfolk. And then now it's abandoned now. No one lives there anymore for fear of these creatures, which were known to lurk around there. You're about 10 miles away from this village where you guys are right now. Pretty far away. Your thought is, if these creatures that were known to be hanging around that village of Rhoetius, as it was called, are now up canal this far, 10 miles away, something drove them this way. You're not sure what, but you're not sure. Yeah, these creatures, maybe salt water, maybe something else, but you do know that village has been abandoned for about 5 years.
See, they just needed us there. We could have saved the whole village.
I'm going to take the bag over to Beltran.
Okay, you're gonna open it up, put your head in it.
Nope, just going to take the bag to the magic dude.
All right, so you take that over to Beltran because apparently he's what qualifies as a magic dude here.
Anything but me qualifies as a magic dude.
That's a good point. So so Beltran, as you look at the bag, you see that there is acid on it. There's acid burns on the bag, but otherwise it looks pretty reasonably new. One thing you do also notice on the side before you even open it is the leather itself is stamped. It's not colored, but it's stamped with what you recognize as the symbol of the Burza clan.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You open it up?
Yep.
All right. So inside, you see a couple of things. One is what looks to be a book which it has a little bit of acid burn on it from some of the acid had managed to get inside, through one of the seams or something and got on there. So it has a little bit of acid burn on it, not bad. And then there's also a small box about the size of maybe a cigar box, like half a cigar box.
Is this the stuff we're after?
The stuff you guys were after was a couple of things. So let me, hold on a second.
There was a necklace that chokes people.
So
A mace that caused people to become murderous.
And an urn was dreaded for its dark power to issue forth horrors.
Oh, so this stuff is not.
There's a book and a box. The box is about the size of, it's about the length and width of a cigar box, but about half the depth. So
if I detect magic, do either one of them show up as magic?
The box is whatever's in the box radiates some magic, but though you can't tell because it's still in the box.
Right. Okay.
Is the book an actual book? Does it have pages with writing on it?
Yeah, it is. It's an actual book.
What's the title?
It doesn't have a title. It's just stamped. If you open to the title page, it has the name of Arisian Bortse written in it.
So this is one of the things that was stolen from there then.
The bag has the Bortse sigil on it. This book is Arisian Bortse, a name. That's not. You don't think it's definitely a feminine handwriting. It's not a masculine writing.
This is what's his name's wife then.
Could be.
This is where there was a fire there too, like somebody was camping out.
So they were trying to camp there. One of these things or both of these things came up after them, and they bailed and left this bag. So,
right.
We still need to head west.
Right. I'm gonna tell them there's something magical in this box. I'm gonna have them step back, and I'm gonna open this box.
Okay. You open it up, and there is, so it's a jewelry box essentially. You open it up, and sitting on a sort of a little mound of velvet is a beautiful gold necklace.
Oh, I put it on really fast.
It's made. The gold is it looks like it's transformed. It's carved in the shape of, or bent in the shape of, like interlocking roses that go all the way around. And there's a really it's smallish but exquisitely cut garnet right at the stop. Lama, it looks beautiful. I mean, you think it would look great on you.
Awesome choker, dude.
Huh?
Yeah. So I say, I'll tell them this is a necklace. So this is one of the 3 items we're after.
It definitely radiates magic.
So I close that box back up, put it back in the bag,
and put it on later.
Oh yeah.
Duct tape.
Yeah, I put it on instantly as soon as I saw it.
You just throw it right on. All right, so you put you put it back in the box. You don't put it on. I mean, you could if you want. Just try it out, see how it looks.
Yeah, like I said, I'll tell them we got one thing, and then we need to continue.
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys? It's nighttime. Do you guys not want to stay here?
Actually, if these things are dead, we can.
Well, we don't know that there were only 2 of them. We might want to move at least a little ways along.
Tracking is going to be, I mean, unless you want to just say we're going to keep following along the river, it's dark enough now where it's going to be almost impossible to track these guys. I mean, to actually follow tracks.
Right. So we're going to start here in the morning anyway. Well, we know these things are big, so we could grab any tools, whatever all these people had, and just set up trash piles around the exits. That way, if something tries to come in, they'll knock all those over and make a bunch of noise.
Every once in a while, I mean, they didn't have a ton of stuff on them. They did have, several of them have, like knives, working knives. A couple had hammers, that kind of thing. It's not like they were dragging along a lot of like pie pans and fishing wire.
I'm just saying we should be able to grab some things that would make noise if they were knocked over and just kind of put up in the openings to these buildings in case there are more of these creatures around.
Okay. All right, so that's what you do. You kind of loot their bodies for anything that would make noise if it was trampled across.
Right.
Okay. You just stack the bodies up in sort of like a body wall that that a creature would have to knock down to get in at you guys.
Ew.
I was going to sit in the corner and read the book, Les.
Okay. Basically, so John, as you start pouring over this book, essentially it is it's this this Arisian Bortse is from the contents of it. You do get the idea that this was Tribune Bortse's wife, and this book is basically her notes and sort of observations of her working, trying to figure out how to counteract the powers of the items. She believed you get as you read forward, and it's not terrible reading. She actually has a way with words. You get the idea that she felt that the board, because of their possession of these items, even though they were in the vault and they would never use them, that just mere possession of these items had placed some sort of like weird curse on the family, more like bad luck than anything terrible. But she had devoted her time and interest into trying to figure out if there was a way to sort of deactivate these items and thereby release this curse. She was you get the impression that she was a very sort of minor league magic user, maybe first or second level, not very powerful. A lot of you can sort of, as you read through it, you read through several pages of it, and you realize that she's sort of like, you get the impression, having known more powerful mages and stuff like that, that she's well out of her league. Dealing with things, especially if this necklace is indeed a necklace of strangulation, the sort of thing that you've heard about. The caster level on something like that is like 18. It is absolutely lethal, and you just get the impression that she was, very much a naive babe in the woods when it came to trying to figure out what to do with these things. Her ideas were very, sort of very simplistic. She'd try, you read on a couple of occasions, she had tried to sort of like bury them in hallowed ground and stuff like that. None of that worked. Obviously, you'd never heard of there being a curse associated with stuff like this, where a pernicious curse would cause bad luck to the owners. But she's as you read through it, the writing seems like a good-intentioned but very naive person dealing with things that are well out of their realm of intellectual capability.
Does the end have any clues about what happened to her?
The last thing in there is her plans. She had outlined her plans, and she had found a spell in some other books to summon a salamander. And she was going to try that. She was hoping that maybe the salamander, being a creature of flame, might be able to burn up the items, that kind of thing.
No
Sure,
mention.
they don't kill you.
I'm sorry?
I said, sure, if they don't kill you.
That's the last entry in the book.
No mention of the jester in there at all?
None. No mention of the jester at all. Remember the jester, although that makes sense, because the jester didn't come to Manor Bortze until after she died. Remember, the jester was sent, like well-wishers would send people to the Tribune to sort of like cheer him up, and that's what this jester was supposed to do.
Okay, let's rest.
All right, so you guys rest the night? All right, let me roll
I will do a watch. I'll have one person up at a time.
Okay. Who's going to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Let me roll something real quick here. Another one real quick. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so so you guys passed the night relatively eventfully. Although honestly, you guys are pretty on edge, and sleep is hard to come by. After those giant slug things that sort of just like crawl up the walls and in there, I mean, you guys are pretty. It's a little hard to sort of get to sleep. And then there's also the fact that there's a giant pile of, giant scattering of bodies just outside the door, right over there. Of dead people. It's not exactly the most conducive place for a good night's sleep, but you do manage to grab a couple hours. Each of you managed to grab a couple hours of sleep, and you do get your spells and stuff like that back. I don't know. I know that Phineas is still wounded. I believe you get after sleep.
I don't think he ever added that last 20 I gave everybody.
He should be full up.
Oh, is he full? Okay, I'll just pop that in. Oh, excuse me. All right, so he's back up to 35. All right. So, yeah, you wake up the next morning. It's pretty sunny, nice weather, good traveling weather. And what do you guys do?
Look for the tracks.
Okay, so you're going to look for tracks again? All right, so give me a who's going to look and who's going to aid?
I'll look.
I'll try to aid if I can.
Okay.
I'm
I'm going to look because I think I've got the highest skill.
Yep, I successfully aided whoever.
Oh, 17. Plus, actually, there's pluses on that.
All right, and I'm sure that somebody is inspiring competence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, so we're in the upper 20s.
All right, so you actually find it fairly easy to locate the tracks again. Again, you recognize that these guys were moving away pretty quickly. About an hour away, well, not an hour, about a mile away, you see the tracks tend to slow down again. It looks like that once they realized that they weren't being chased by these creatures, that they slowed down to their normal pace. They continue to follow along this path. You guys continue for most of the morning. The tracks are following. You get they've resumed walking, that kind of stuff. And after most of the morning, you guys are traveling along. You begin to see that these tracks are heading directly towards what you guys recognize as the abandoned sort of town of Rhoetius. And what's more, you see smoke from a couple of different fires coming up from the walls of Rhoetius. You guys are about a half a mile away. The tracks lead there like a beeline, and you see smoke coming up from there. Several plumes of smoke. Now, again, they don't look like fires, like something's on fire. It looks like more like campfires.
Campfire.
But there's more than one.
Okay. If it's more than one, it's more than just them there. Maybe travelers or something. I don't know.
Well, they met with people on horseback before. That could have been to send word to whoever they were trying to get together with. He might have people who are going to fence these things. So.
Yeah, they might have taken the items too.
Yeah, you could expect that there's a small group of people, whoever this person was working for, really, since it obviously wasn't the Disarans.
All right, so you guys are looking across from about a half a mile away at this town. What do you guys want to do?
Party.
Well, since none of us are really stealthy.
Yeah, I assume we're just going to head towards the town.
Okay. As you guys are moving there, you see. Give me a perception check. Oh, Bjorn and Beltran. So,
damn it, Beltran!
Yeah.
You know what?
So,
I've failed in some other rolls tonight, but so far my perception rolls have all been in like the
in the 30s. Yeah.
Well, in
good.
the teens for the rolls. So
you see what looks to be some people sort of coming from the north, heading towards the town. It's 3 people. They're not on horseback. They're walking. But Bjorn, you can't tell, but Beltran, your elven eyes. Oh wait, Asimar eyes.
Yep.
Your Asimar eyes. You're pretty sure it's those 3 guys that you met a couple of days ago back at that ruined sort of like limestone house. The guys from House Desaren, that guy named Wage.
So how'd they get here before us?
I don't know. They're on their way back.
They have horses.
They're walking towards us?
No, they're walking towards the village. You're not sure that they see you.
Oh, they don't have horses? I thought I heard you say horses. No.
They do not have horses.
Sorry.
And apparently we suck at sense motive.
Yeah. Beltran's
Well, now, wait a second. They're coming from the north. You guys are coming from the east. So they're coming from the direction in that they went. Now, they left a day and a half ago. So it could be that they were able to get back and maybe got some information. Or they lied to you guys.
So do we want to try to meet up with them first, or?
I'd like to meet with them first and find out if we're going to kill them and then go and see what's going on, or if we're not going to kill them.
I like the way you think, says Llama. We'll find out if we're going to kill them.
All right, so you guys sort of like zig and head towards them?
And Llama's humming to kill or not to kill, to kill or not to kill.
All right. As soon as when you realize that they see you, they turn towards you guys and begins heading that way towards you guys. And pretty soon you meet up, and this guy's like, he comes over and comes right
immediately. What are you guys doing here?
Well, we could say the same for you. It sounds like that you got the same information that we did.
No.
Oh, you didn't? Then what are you going to Rhoetius for? Don't you know that the jester's there?
We're still following the freaking tracks, which you obviously didn't do.
No, we went back to House Desaren like we talked about and reported what we were doing. What we found when we got there is that we heard that people had come back to House Desaren and said that Sabas had taken up residence in Rhoetius and was auctioning off the stuff that the material that he'd stolen from Bortze. That the auction was the place today, so we hot-footed it back here. We saw you. We thought you had the same information.
I'm having a hard time not shooting this guy. I'm just letting you know.
Which guy? Sabas or me?
Savers or whatever his name is.
Well, I've got it on good authority that if we perhaps shooting him would not necessarily be against the wishes of my liege.
And our deal stands. The items that he has are ours.
And he points back at Lama and says,
Deal
she's
stands.
going to play with him a little bit too.
You're twice the woman that I've seen in a long time. But yes, our deal stands, soldier.
Well, then let's go get this. Let's go get the things that we came here for.
Mm-hmm.
And if Llama accidentally bounces this jester a little too hard, then it's all good.
Go ahead, jog his memory really hard.
leave him a moment for me, but other than that, I don't mind.
Did you get any information about why your brother is involved in this?
Look, I'll be blunt. We planted the jester. The jester worked for us. We planted him at Bortze's place after his wife died so that we could get information, nothing more. This whole board of theft and stealing of magic items and stuff like that, that's all on Sabas.
Yeah, but what about your brother?
We still don't know what my brother. The information we got is that my brother is now working for Sabas, although that seems remote. I don't know why he's not here, and I don't know why he's working, but I'm here to come and knock some. What the hell was that? Andrew, what was that?
I'm looking for the right evil giggle.
Oh, okay, that wasn't Andrew. I thought it was Andrew giggling.
Thanks.
But the same intelligence that told us that Sabas was here preparing to auction everything off, told us that my brother Baron was with him. You can be sure that once we've settled Sabas's hash, I'm gonna thump him good for abrogating his responsibilities.
Well, I believe that I told you once before, taking prisoners is not our strong suit.
Well, if you
So
can.
if we go in here together, you should take care of your brother.
Done.
So that we don't have to.
Because our version of take care is probably a little bit different than your version of take care.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you mean by take care. Take
Yes,
care of.
it's a lot less huggy and holdy and a lot more stabby and slashy.
All right, don't worry. If I see my brother, I'll identify him for you, and you leave him to me.
So then I guess whenever we're ready, we can all head in there.
An alliance? An alliance.
Wouldn't go that far, but
Now let's get the hell out of here. All right, so you guys together now begin to approach the abandoned village of Rhoetius from the northeast, essentially, heading towards it. So you guys are coming from the northeast. Now you're not that close, but you can see a couple of things. Give me a perception check. Whoever wants to perception.
oh, look at that!
I beat Mike.
You're nicely done.
Take a picture of it.
Everybody's beating Mike. Well done.
Screenshot. I expect that on Tiny Batman.
All right, I'm getting. Hold on, let me get it. I have to get my screenshotter. Hold on.
Beltran's just pissed off right now. He's not paying attention.
He's just
This guy got to go back, sleep in his own bed, have a nice breakfast, come out here. I had to fight slugs.
What?
I
What
don't
are you
recall
talking
you
about,
fighting
slugs?
any slugs.
Yeah, I didn't. I had to
Mostly you
heal-
just avoided
I
fighting.
had to heal my
slugs.
party who was fighting slugs.
All right, I got a screenshot of it. It'll be up. All right, so you guys are approaching the city, and you see a couple of things. One, there's a couple of these. You can see these little fellas here. They're, sort of like little gatehouse towers, that kind of thing. The village itself was a walled village next to the canal, and you can see the edge of the canal at the northern part of the map. The towers near the gate, you suspect you can't see on one side, but at least on the right-hand side, you can see that pretty sure there's a dude in that tower, and another one down at the base, sort of like lurking about. That said, there is a guy standing out basically in the middle of the thing, middle of where the path to go into the village is.
Mm-hmm. Is that the dude we're looking for?
Hold on. Let me roll wages perception. So he would lean over to you as you guys are walking up, and he would say, "That's not Sabas. It's not my brother either. I don't know who that is."
Okay.
So
So
you
as-
guys
As we approach this place, are we going to just go in and start cracking skulls? Or are we going to go in and suggest that we're here for the auction and attempt to get further in before I start cracking skulls? At what point does the skull cracking begin?
I was going to walk in, give him a chance to turn over everything immediately, and when they said no, I was going to ask Lama to rip his arms off.
Sound plan.
Okay. All right, so you guys approach. You get to about 50 feet away, and this guy who's out front, he's sort of like got a hammer over his shoulder. He's dressed in sort of rags, not rags, but sort of like decent clothes. And he says, "Oh, there! I didn't know there was going to be more people. You're here for the auction, the jester's auction, eh?"
As far as you know.
Well, I hope you brought money, because I've heard that the jester has some excellent wares to sell today.
Brought lots of money. It's called Lama and Bjorn.
I don't know those currencies, but I'm sure they'll spend just as well as anything.
Oh, they'll do something.
How'd you hear about it? Where do you hail from, friend?
I'm going to turn around and look at the dude that's with me.
He just shrugs. He's like, "I don't know who this guy is."
No, I'm going to say, where are we from?
Well, I can't say house Drazanen. because that'll tip off the jester. He knows us. He knows my face.
Okay, anyone give me a city around here.
Just tell him we represent an interested party from wherever the guy we work for is from. That's far enough away that they're not going to know him.
Yeah,
Good answer. Good answer.
All right.
we do that.
So you say we're
What is it, Kadira?
yeah. So Kathir is the city. Kathir is the
Okay.
country.
So Kathir, we represent an interested party from Kathir.
Oh, you've come a long way. These things were only stolen a few nights ago. How did you learn of it?
Magic.
As I said, interested party.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know. Well, please, by all means, come in. We've still got about an hour and a half before the auction officially begins, so I guess find yourself one of these hovels and make yourself comfortable until then. Supposedly, Sabas will be coming down maybe you're the last. He was waiting for a few more groups to attend. But if make yourselves comfortable.
So where is he?
He's up in the manor house over there, the tower.
Thank you.
He points over to sort of this way, sort of over here,
I can't see where we were pointing.
down in the southwest corner.
Yep, I see it.
He points. There's like a big. Let me see if I got a text here. Hold on a second. Shit.
Llama's going to ask him if he's got anything to eat or drink. And I'm going to whisper over my shoulder, killing makes me hungry.
So you're gonna ask the guy at the gate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like, no, we there's no inns or anything here. This is just this is an old abandoned village. We brought all our own stores here.
I'm going to smile very big and say, well, you might want to give her something of yours then.
As pretty as she is, I think I'm going to keep my wine to myself. But in you go, lass. And he steps out of the way. Give me a perception check real quick.
Twice.
I beat Mike again.
Holy cow! I've got to screenshot that one too and just put them together.
Great.
Apparently Beltron's still too pissed off to care about anything right now.
He does seem a little weirdly aggressive. He's getting all corked about it. The guy just stands aside. He's like, "In you go, then. Do you guys go into the city?"
Sure.
It's not a city. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
So you guys go in, and you can see that that guy Wage is sort of like, sort of trying to hide his face and not. Where did you go, dude?
Did you use those perception checks, Les? Llama rolled a 29.
Yeah, so Lama, as you guys walk under this, you're paying attention to this dude. But as you walk through the gates, you see that there's another guy up here. This tower here is more sort of more intact than the other one, so there's not as many holes. But you can see that there's a dude in there too. There's murder hole slots. And you can see that there's an archer in there in this building. Oh, let me grab that.
Where's the guy that we were talking to?
Right there.
Where'd he go? There. I'm going to ask him what's with the heavy protection.
Well, we've come here. Same reason for you, right? We've come here. We have resources. We've come to purchase stolen goods. You don't want to find yourself at the mercy of others who might not be as
honest about their intentions.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be careful. People might not be as honest as you.
We know nothing about that at all.
All right. So the guy's like, look, if so the centaurs are over there, and then the lion hearts or whatever they call themselves are corner. But anything to the south, if you want to grab one of those areas, maybe get some rest before rest for the next hour and a half, water up. They're all open as far as I can tell. Everything to the south.
Who's
I'm
this
going-
guy?
Yeah, what's this guy look like, or what is he?
So he's the same as this guy over here. They're archers, and they were sort of like hanging out sort of behind the scenes. There's archers in the towers too. You think they're associated with this guy you've been talking to. They're standing down. They're not pointing their arrows at you or anything, but they do have bows and arrows. You also see as you come in, like over here, standing in front of this building, there's a centaur just standing there, not doing anything. He looks like he's guarding, but he's definitely not with these other guys.
Is this guy something other than human? He's pretty big.
No, he's a human. He's just the thing. He just looks a little different. All right. So the guy anyway is like, I think all those down there are empty. If you want to go, take a load off and maybe have a wash, sluice the dust from your lips.
I'm kind of torn.
You just want to start killing people right away?
Llama's going to come down here and kind of flirt with this guy and distract him.
And just be like, hey, what's your charisma, by the way?
Low. He'll be annoyed. He won't be turned.
But he'll be afraid of her, so he'll at least have to act
Yeah.
That's right.
One doesn't blow off a half ogre. Or half
You
orc.
could, as you pass by, you can see that there's no doors or anything on there. It's just like a little ramp. These towers aren't really like stories high. They're only maybe 5-8 feet above the ground, and you can see that it's basically just ramps up. There's no stairs or even anything. It just ramps up to a smaller area. There's no doors or anything. They're just sort of in there, sort of keeping out of the way.
I said we walk around.
Is this place down here empty?
Yes.
Okay.
Walk around, look everywhere, and then figure out how we're going to sweep in and do whatever.
Well, I'm going to head down to this southern area, the one that I'm in currently, because they said that the dude's like over here somewhere.
What's Heil seeing there? Less over on the west.
There's. Hold on a second. Okay, yeah, all right. You can see it. So that building's empty. I mean, it's more than anything. It's just an open sort of area. It has a roof, but there's room. So, Heil, where are you? And where are you looking?
I went south, just below Bjorn.
Okay.
I don't see you. Is that you right there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right. These guys hustle into this building pretty quickly because the guy is worried that if Sabas sees him, he'll recognize him. So he's getting under cover pretty. You see those guys over to the west. So there's a little campfire over there. I don't know if you can see that. You should be able to see that. Do you?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Okay. So there's a couple of guys over there, sort of just like hanging out. Give me a perception check real quick.
Over where? I don't think I can see it.
No, you can't. Only Heil can see it.
Oh, okay.
17. And they're standing next to. There's like a building like right here. You see the building.
Yeah.
The door itself is open, and there's a guy standing next to it, sort of not blocking it, but sort of standing next to it and sort of locking in. You see creatures moving around in there. You can't tell what they are yet, though.
Hey, Les, can you give my guy 60-foot vision so I can see what he sees?
No way.
That's as far as I can see.
Okay, hold on a second. This is a big-ish map, so it takes a minute. Any day. I'll have that for you momentarily. As soon as my stupid computer gets out of its own way. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's acting like it's crashing. Hold on a second. Let's do it this way. Hold on a moment.
Why is there a sound of wind? Did somebody do that as a side effect or sound effect?
It's not me.
Just some feedback from something.
Wow, it's cool. It sounds like the wind through the fir trees in the mountain or something.
There was some wind.
As long as you're not breaking wind.
It was dust off.
Oh, okay. Doing a little spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Oh, is that seriously what it was?
Yes.
Sound nice. You can keep that up. I'd fall asleep to that.
I'm not a white noise generator.
That's pretty funny.
All right, hold on just a sec. I'm close. I'm close. All right, here we go. All right, so yours is 60?
Yep.
Okay. All right, try that. Is that better?
I'll open it up. Yep.
Okay, so that's so so Beltran, as you walk by, there's a centaur there. Looks pretty tough. Obviously, he's got he's got a bow and arrow. He's got a sword as well. He doesn't say anything to you. He just looks at you like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I'm gonna keep moving this way a little bit just until I can see some stuff.
Okay. So, Heil, do you go that close to those guys?
Yeah, it's like 10 feet away, right? I'm just walking around the building.
All right, so you're just walking around the building. So these guys, as you approach, they stop talking and they're just eyeballing you as you walk by. They don't say anything, but you definitely get a vibe that they do not appreciate you getting that close to them. As you go by, you notice that inside the building is the sort of the creatures that you saw looking around in there. They look like lions. Like these guys brought lions with them.
Huh.
And I think you'd think there's more than one.
Okay, what was the name that the guy at the gate said? It was something that had lion in it, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, it was
Lion Hearts.
The Lion Hearts or whatever. He was like, whatever they're called. The Lion Banes, something like that.
Llama's going to stick around the front and just kind of basically keep these guys a little off their feet and unable to talk and plot if they wanted to talk and plot.
Okay. Phineas, what are you doing?
I'm helping Llama.
Okay.
Are you making me look better? Because I could use a little help with my
Oh yeah, I'm singing your praises.
Inspire gorgeousness.
Yes.
All right. So does anybody have? So the guy said that the auction itself is going to take place in about an hour and a half.
I'm trying to find this dude.
All right. So in what sense? I mean, you guys are just sort of wandering around.
I'm just wandering around.
Huh?
He didn't specifically point out what building this guy was in.
No, he didn't.
So
But there's only. I mean,
Okay.
you've got. So Kyle will tell you that there's a bunch of good dudes down here. There's a bigger building over here, and you guys can you guys see this guy?
I can see that guy. Yeah.
All right, so he's standing. There's a bigger building over there, and he's just sort of standing there on those steps. There's a set of stairs that go up to like a small landing that that lead to a door that goes into the building. You don't see anybody else over there. That's in the general direction that he said was there. These guys in the south and these centaurs, as you guys wander around over by that, they are watching you guys like hawks.
Yep.
Your guess is that they're worried that since everybody's there for a stolen goods auction, that you guys have decided that you want to bum rush the show and steal the stolen goods, and they don't want that to happen.
Right.
So these guys are all watching you with just like, don't even.
I'm gonna get a good look at that guy so I can go describe him.
Okay.
This guy back here and see if that could be
his brother. Okay. So you just get a look at him.
Yeah. So I'm just walking around here, just kind of looking around, seeing what's around, and then.
Do you see anybody wearing the livery of the Dasari people?
Yeah.
The ones that our buddies are wearing?
Give me a perception check. He is not wearing the livery of House Desarian.
Which you probably wouldn't for something like this. Kind of bad for, going to a stolen item auction and you wear the,
He's just wearing what looks to be like a chain shirt.
Okay. I'll probably come back around here, around this way, and then walk back and
Okay.
go inside here and tell him who I saw and see if that rings a bell.
You describe him.
Yeah.
It does not sound like his brother.
Okay. So,
What about you, Hyle? What are you doing? You staying over there, or are you going to come back to the?
No, I'll follow.
Okay.
I'm going to follow Beltran.
I'd
Okay.
probably get Phineas or Llama's attention and just wave them over.
Okay.
We can all kind of chat.
All right. So you guys all meet at the abandoned building, like you guys meant to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll have one person. Is there one or two ways into that thing?
2 into the building that you're in.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways into that. It's small, but it's busted down a little bit.
We'll
One
make
down
sure, make sure someone's each one of those openings so no one can approach without us knowing about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got the back door
Okay.
or the southerly door.
But then, then I just want to basically, we kind of all go over who we saw where.
Okay. So you described the guy that you saw on the steps. It doesn't sound like it was his brother.
Right. I'm saying if we start a fire right now, we've got to fight every single person here, which is not going to work.
Or maybe it will. Who knows? You've got your own. You got those other 3 guys help you out.
Right. But we'd have to start it one way and work very fast. We'd have to start at one side so we're not fighting everyone at once.
So what's the plan?
So the bad thing is once we start this, it's not going to take long before it's obvious to everyone in here that something's going on. And I don't want that little pipsqueak escaping with the stuff.
They are already looking at you pretty suspiciously.
Mm-hmm. We're probably the most heavily armed group that came in here.
Everybody looks like they're pretty solidly armed.
Everyone's armed, but like there's 3 centaurs. Is that what I saw? Was
3 centaurs that you could see. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's only 3 of them. There's like 6 or 7 of us or 8 of us. There's a bunch of us.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of you guys. So 5 of you guys and then 3 more. So 8 total.
There's 8 of us in here. So we're the biggest group here.
Yep.
It only looked like they had 5 guys out front and then whoever is inside his building guarding him.
Yep.
So if we're going to do the bum rush thing, I would say we make our way back towards the front gate and just have our 2 tough guys, obviously right next to an archer when this all starts. And we just try and get rid of those 5 guys as quick as we can, which I'm guessing the centaurs will then come to their aid. And I'm hoping we can dispatch them fast enough that some of them are gone before we have to engage the centaurs.
I think we should take on that centaur that's closest right away.
I want to.
Don't they have magic centaurs?
No, they're just big and very martial.
Could be level boost too. Could be very strong.
I mean, I guess they could be magical. They have a class, whatever, but typically they're just fast, strong, and very martial.
What's our main objective here? Are we worried
we
about
want our stuff back?
Stuff.
We want the stuff. I don't care about anything else.
So probably one of the things.
But these guys are here to buy the stuff as well, or to auction on it, to try and buy it.
But I mean, they lost the necklace. They know that. So what's left is just the
urn and the, what was the other thing?
well,
Mace.
the one thing
Mace.
busted up already, right? The urn was already used and busted up, wasn't it?
We don't know that. He said it looked similar, but he didn't know if that piece that we have is from that.
Well, I thought we used the magic 8-ball to track. I mean, that piece was that the magic 8-ball told us that piece was part of what we were seeking, right? I thought it did.
I don't remember. Les, do you remember what we asked?
I don't remember, but it's possible it told you that.
I'm pretty sure that the question that was asked was, I think, does Doug have, wasn't he trying to locate item or locate object, and he used that to get to that urn piece?
No, because that one you have to, well, yeah, actually I think he was.
And it was too far, remember?
But I thought
it led him right to the piece, that fragment piece.
What about can we ask on a more diplomatic level, not me obviously, about if there's gonna be a viewing of the goods that are for auction, to even know if this is, you know, what we've come for or what we're interested in, or, you know what I'm saying? Because usually they do previews at auctions. Is it like out of character that you wouldn't be able to talk to the auctioneer and see what's up for auction here more specifically?
You'd probably get to view it as their auction. They'd probably have the guy show it or put it on a table and let everybody get semi-close to look at it with, 15 guards around or whatever, or something like that.
I guess I'm just saying, can we get closer to the guy, to the jester, by maybe feigning ignorance about not knowing how these auctions work?
I mean, right now, if we all left here and took 2 different paths and walked right up to this building we know he's in, I'm fairly certain we can get there without anyone interfering. But right before we get there, it's going to be very obvious we're converging on that building. And I think everyone here will then come after us.
I don't think we should all necessarily converge the same way. I mean, I was thinking about heading down towards the fire, just hanging out at the fire. I mean, that's an easy, just because we look really conspicuous standing here in this little building.
Well, that's we're waiting for the auction.
Yeah, everyone else is doing that too. Everyone else has a building. They're just all kind of camped out.
They said they go south and wait. I mean, we're a group waiting for the auction. We're not conspicuous at all. I mean, other than walking around.
Well, then, okay, then Llama's gonna sit on the outside and just lean back against the building and look nonchalant and keep her, just stretch out and then listen for instruction from you guys.
Right.
I'm just feeling claustrophobic and weird in here, so.
Well, so the other thing that you guys have is you also have 3 other assets that you can use, at least, for crowd control or to keep somebody busy, or you have some red shirts. So, I mean, you've got these guys from House Denarian or whatever, Desarian. If you're gonna try and take out the other groups before you charge Sabas is in the, so if he's in that building, he's got some guards in there, some stuff in there. He's he knows that he's in possession of these items that these guys want. And he's going to be suspicious of exactly what you guys are talking about, that there being a wipeout and that kind of stuff. So he's going to have probably some aces in the hole, and everybody else is sort of, but he's also probably counting on everybody else to sort of be his, it's like the idea of mutually assured destruction, right? Any one group that makes a move on the stuff is going to have all the other groups come after them.
Right.
They're in the same position that you are.
Maybe the thing to do is to pick a fight with one of the groups and
Like
get one group out of the way, because everybody's kind of going to stand back if we just start a brawl fight.
That's a good idea.
We
Innocuous.
can at least maybe get rid of a couple of them and then have a more open field.
If Llama overhears that idea, she likes that.
Okay.
And what is our chance of having one of our charismatic party members just outbid everybody?
Do we have that much cash?
That's not the point. We're not going to pay anybody anything.
Ah.
But if you outbid and then you get taken into a room to deliver payment, then you're only dealing with the individuals who are there.
But you're probably not next to the item. You're paying up before you're next to the item.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, especially in sort of gaming terms. But I guess what I'm getting at is, could we bluff our way through just outbidding everyone on all the items?
I'm not a good bluffer.
Well, I'm damn sure I'm not. That's why I'm asking.
I suck at bluffing. I'm very good at talking to
That's why
someone.
you're covered in armor.
Yeah, I'm covered in armor because I don't bluff. I just hit people.
I'm not applicable for that either.
Both Phineas and I are very good at talking to someone, but we're good at reasoning with someone on a truthful
At
level.
which point every eye turns to
not-
Phineas.
not bluffing.
How do you bluff?
Yeah, Andrew's the charismatic one, so he's the one basically I was
Kyle
asking.
Kyle is too. He's got a very good bluff.
Ah, okay.
Oh, so actually, you're probably the best because I know Phineas and I are both very good at diplomacy, but I don't think either one of us are all that great at bluff. Phineas, let me know if I'm speaking out of turn.
I'm +4 on bluff.
Yeah.
Maybe +5. I've got to calculate with new.
Yeah, my bluff is 3, but my diplomacy is 15.
And I'm guessing a bunch of thieves and people who are going to buy stolen goods probably have pretty good sense motive checks.
At least some of them.
Bjorn,
Yeah.
as you're sort of standing out that door, you see a couple of guys from over down in that southerly house, kind of just like walk over to the edge of this thing. This guy leans over against the thing. One guy has a lion on a leash, and he's sort of walking him around. You get the decided impression that this guy is walking this lion around for your particular edification.
There's our fight.
He doesn't approach closer than say 40 or 50, or no closer than 30 or 40 feet. But he's definitely walking a lion.
That's what Bjorn calls cute little kitty.
And then the other guy is sort of like leaning up against the thing. They're definitely showing off a little bit. Oh, Bjorn, you're going to go over there?
Yeah.
All right. So they just stand there and they're looking at you. They don't say anything.
I will let everybody know what's going on inside the building.
Say,
I'll compliment the cat.
What do you say?
Beautiful animal.
It is. You know, one of the things about cats like this is that they're very direct of purpose. They don't hover about pretending to be something else, to be interested in something else.
That's why I admire them.
I can see that. You want to stay away from those doors, brother.
Which doors?
The doors to where the jesters all hold up. We've all got the same space here. You bid fair and square like anybody else. We saw your friends hovering about, taking stock. Recommend against.
And what are you doing at this point?
We're waiting for the auction, same as anybody else.
You are moving around and taking stock.
I gotta walk my cat.
I'm sure. Probably poops a giant turd.
Just a warning, that's all.
Okay. Consider me warned.
All right, they don't go anywhere else. They stop talking, but they don't go anywhere there. The cat is like, kind of like making cat noises.
It'll make a fine blanket if they let it go.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you think it.
No, I think it pretty hard. I was just standing by the back door. I haven't done anything.
They didn't do anything to you.
Suddenly this guy wants to come out and intimidate me with a kitty cat.
With a lion on a string.
I like how there's two guys and a lion there. Bjorn just walks right out in the middle of them all.
Yeah, just walks out. Hey, hello, friend. Nice kitty cat.
Hey, I complimented their cat.
No, that was his way of intimidating without intimidating. I'm out here by myself, and I'm not worried even though there's three of you here.
Yeah, I think, Bjorn, the effect that you get here is that these guys wanted to make sure that you knew that they have lions.
Yes.
And second, that they have been seeing you guys sort of like eyeballing the other building.
Right. And much like Mike suggested, my purpose for walking out there all by my onesie is to show that I'm nonplussed by either them nor their cat.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. They don't seem, at least they're not showing like they're like that they're frightened of you.
No.
But yeah, I mean, amongst groups of this nature, I imagine there's a fair amount of this one-upsmanship.
Yeah.
Are lions considered medium?
They are.
The difference is no one can back it up.
But that was a weirdly specific question, Gordon. Why are you asking that?
Well, because the icon is medium sized, but I would have thought a lion to be large.
I think they're medium.
Because they're like 8 feet long, and
Usually, you got to be about the size of a horse before you're considered large. And lions are probably have the same length, but they're just not quite as.
let me put one in a room with you, Mike, and see what you think.
Yeah, I'm not going to care for it at all. It's going to look very large to me.
Under the bestiary, they are large, but I couldn't in good conscience make this thing 10 feet.
I think they are technically 10 feet long. They're long and short, like a snake, but they're pretty big.
Oh, wait, here it says. It says male lions are typically 5 to 8 feet long and weigh 330 to 550 pounds. So yeah, they're pretty big. I don't know that I would make the icon any bigger than that, though. All right, so I just realized it's after 11 o'clock. You guys want to stop here, or
We'll stop here.
Yeah.
Next time with whoever's there next time, then we'll figure out what we're doing and do it.
Yeah.
John's going to pick up a couple rocks and toss them back and forth as his hand. He's thinking about throwing one at the lion.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, we will stop there. Thank you guys. This is awesome. And I will see. We will be back in B team in
4 weeks.
according to the schedule. Yeah, 4 weeks. We'll be back here.
So next week.
So next week is A team, and then 2 weeks from tonight is November 3rd. Will be the first C team traveler game. So looking forward to that.
Awesome.
I have a lot of stuff to send you guys. Those of you that are in the C team game over the next couple of weeks. So.
Hey, Gordon and Les, hang on for a second.
Okay.
Once everybody's done.
All right. Well, thank you guys.